A warm night in Central Virginia. Great night for some football as the Liberty Flames, with a 2-0 record, sitting just outside the top 25, in the visiting Monarchs from Old Dominion. And with that, welcome you up into our booth high above Williams Stadium, alongside former North Carolina and CFL wide receiver Joe Yock. I'm Matt Warner. Joe, let's start with these Liberty Flames. Yes, they're 2-0, wins over Campbell and Troy. And yet, even with this highly touted quarterback, Malik Willis, it feels like their offense hasn't quite gotten on track just yet. Why not?
Well, there's some key pieces. Getting a guy like Noah Frith back in the lineup, who's a long, tall receiver that can bail you out when you're in trouble. But they have the weapons. The weapons are everywhere. Between TJ Green, Shedro Lewis, Joshua Mack, across the board. And then Malik Willis, underneath at the quarterback position, is the difference maker. So you'll see that Hugh Freeze wants to run the football. He wants to work his RPO game. But then what Malik does very beautifully is he can throw that ball downfield like nobody. And then, of course, we haven't even talked about how he's able to scramble out of the pocket and make things happen with his legs. So it's a fun show to watch when Malik Willis is under center.
Now, on the other side for Old Dominion, Ricky Rahne entering just his third game as head coach of this program. Remember, they didn't play at all last year. They opted out of the season. They had a big win over Hampton after losing in Week 1 to Wake Forest. What have you seen from Ricky Rahne? What does he want to establish with this program?
It's a new program for him, and so he's trying to be who he is, and that is a very good quarterback coach. He's a very good quarterback, but he knows in order to have good quarterbacks, you have to have a good running game. And they rushed for 358 yards last week is the statement that he wanted to make. However, even bigger than that is what historically he was known for at Penn State was being able to win in the red zone. They don't just kick field goals in the red zone. They scored touchdowns in the red zone, leading the Big Ten in touchdown scores in the red zone. So that's his identity, and that's who he wants to be with Old Dominion offensively.
Well, we talk about him being young in his tenure here with Old Dominion. With more on Ricky Rahne and what he's looking to establish, we check in for the first time with Emily Austin.
Great to see you guys tonight, guys. Yes, Ricky Rahne is obviously still trying to establish his own identity as a first-time head coach, but he said he's had plenty of individuals help mold him along the way. When I asked who some of those mentors were, he said, easy question. The most influential has to be Penn State head coach James Franklin. He said he really helped mold him from an organizational and recruiting standpoint. He also mentioned his 2 years under Bill Snyder, as well as his 2 years coaching with Joe Moorhead, who was the OC at Penn State during his time there, and he really talked about how much he changed him. So it'll be interesting to see how he implements some of these lessons he's learned from these mentors as he continues his head coaching tenure, guys.
Yeah, thanks, Emily. And so we know what he wants to do on the offensive side, run the football. On the other side, he's got to try to stop Malik Willis. We talk about it. How would you go about trying to slow down one of the best quarterbacks in the country?
Well, if that's not the million-dollar question, I don't know what is. No, you can. It's one of the old saying, you're not going to stop him. You can only hope to contain him. But Malik Willis is going to do what Malik Willis does. And I think one of the most underrated parts of Malik Willis's game is his intelligence, his ability to stay back in the pocket, read a defense, and know where to properly throw the football. And I've seen a huge improvement in his game so far this year, and he will continue on with that. That's the next step that Hugh Freeze wanted him to be able to do, and he is doing that now, and I think you'll see more of that tonight.
See the teams there at center field, midfield, I should say, for the coin toss. And we talked about, Joe, you referenced the success that Old Dominion had in their 47-7 win over Hampton last week. Running the football, a record-setting day, 358 total rushing yards. And you see a look there, John Luke Peaker, Elijah Davis, the quarterback DJ Mack, all involved in that running attack. We're going to see. That's kind of maybe the matchup within the matchup. Their running game, Liberty's ability to slow down the run. Who wins out tonight? That will be key.
Yeah, the running game is so important because the other part of the running game does, it limits possession. So the other team with an explosive player like Malik Willis, if you can grind out first downs in the running game, you're going to limit Liberty's possessions, which gives you a chance, if you can make some turnovers defensively, to be able to be in the ball game late in the game in the fourth quarter.
There's a look. Their quarterback, DJ Mack Jr., coming off his best performance in an Old Dominion uniform. The transfer from UCF. We'll get into his story a little bit more as we progress throughout the night. This is an Old Dominion squad, very young, but they do have some key transfers from FBS programs that they hope can make an impact here in the first season of the Ricky Rahne era.
Yeah, they're a good-looking football team. I think they're starting, like I say, you're You're behind a little bit by not being able to play football last year, so you don't have as many games under your belt. Obviously, they're young, but they do have those key transfers in. They have got some good-looking kids, but most importantly, they've got some explosive playmakers, and if those playmakers are able to do some work against Liberty's defense, like I said before, all you want is a chance to be in the ball game in the fourth quarter. It looks like we got a double kickoff.
We got some confusion here. Both kickers have taken the field. Both have put the tee down. And there's
I've never seen that before.
It was announced Old Dominion won the toss and deferred, but we've got a showdown.
It's a showdown.
I put my money on Alex Barbier for just going kicker on kicker.
Look at those pipes. He's got the double wristbands going on the pipes. He's the weightlifting bodybuilder guy. I'm with you on that, Matt.
I have never seen that before.
Ever.
I mean, it would have been fun to see how it would have played out, you know, if we kind of just let him go.
And look at Coach Freeze.
Yeah.
Liberty was the one that was wrong.
Yeah.
You know, he got that look on his face like, come on, boys.
So Liberty will receive as Old Dominion won the toss, deferred to the second half. Take a look at the crowd on hand here tonight at Williams Stadium. Second home game of the year for the Flames. It's like Duran Lowe deep for Liberty to return. We are underway. Short kick. Lowe will take it at the 9. Stutter steps across the 20, still on his feet. And ends up moving the pile across the 30-yard line. So good starting field position for Liberty. Malik Willis, star of the show. What a season he had last year for the Flames. And he's on about every watch list you can imagine this year. Maxwell, Unitas, Davey O'Brien. 34 total touchdowns a season ago. So far this year, through the air, he has been solid, maybe not explosive. Last week against Troy, we really saw what he can do with his legs when he, in some ways, pulled that game out for the Flames all by his lonesome.
Folks, if this is the first time you've tuned in to see Malik Willis play, you're tuning into maybe the most explosive player in all of college football.
Looks to throw here to start things and connects right away with his wide receiver, C.J. Daniels. So quickly, a pickup of about 8 on first down. The Flames offense working fast. They're going to roll him out this time, throwing to the near side. There's Noah Frith. You talked about Frith. Did not have a catch last week in his first game back. Missed week 1, but he's a veteran that can make a big impact. Yeah,
Noah Frith has always made some very explosive plays for Liberty. I really like what they're doing. Sitting down in the zone, giving Malik a good, clean throw the first, and then roll him out on second down, picking up the first down, letting things settle in.
Shedro Lewis, the running back in the backfield, they give it to him, hiding behind that offensive line. Ducks forward for about 3. Here's a look at the Liberty offense. It's been a group scoring just under 35 points per ball game this year, which for most people you'd say, oh yeah, we'll take that all day, every day. As we mentioned, the Flames still kind of getting their feet underneath them. Good completion to Demario Douglas. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the first down marker. We'll bring up third, about 3.
See, that's a good play for Old Dominion right there. The ability to come up and tackle a guy like Demario Douglas in space. When he gets the ball in his hands, he makes people miss. So you can force Liberty into these third down situations, get some stops. It goes back to that second down tackle.
Willis again rolling to the near side, looking, throwing, catch made once again by Demario Douglas, and it looks like he'll have just enough to move the chains. Well, this defense for Old Dominion, we talked about that run game. Listen, this defense did a good job against Hampton. They also set a record in that game, giving up just 187 total yards. So they're coming in with some confidence. Willis, hesitation, double move, has a man downfield, and he overshot it. Demario Douglas had beat his man Trey Hawkins, and Willis just led him a bit too far.
See, and that's the exact matchup that Liberty wanted right there, and they'd been running the short routes, they ran the speed out, they ran the curl route, and now setting it up for that double move, which he ran really well. Usually don't see Malik Willis miss those throws.
So a golden opportunity, Flames cannot convert. Brings up second and long, some substitutions now. This Liberty offense, they're trying to get on the same page.
I mean, Matt, those are the ones that drive you nuts. You work on that all week, you see it there, you're watching the film, we know that we have it, and then you've completed it 10 times in a row in practice, and then you miss it right there.
Willis, looks like a design quarterback run. He's got some room. Inside the 30, stays on his feet, tripped up inside the 20. We have not seen this season a lot of designed runs from Malik Willis. You saw one there.
Yeah, that was a 100% designed run. They drew it up. They run that same play out of a lot of different formations, but it's the exact same play.
Michael Bollinger in there taking the carry.
Okay.
Have not seen that a lot when you talk about the stable of running backs the Flames have. As we take a look back at that run a moment ago from Malik.
Yeah, you like to see what they do right there. Liberty pulls the backside guard and able to kick out and then create that lane, seal on the inside, pull the backside guard, create that running lane, and then when you have a guy like Malik Wilson get through it, it's a 30-yard pickup.
So 2nd and 8, TJ Green in at running back for Liberty. Typically you'll see 3 backs get most of the work. Green, Shedro Lewis, and Joshua Mack.
And this double tight end wing formation, 1 back is a formation that we haven't seen from Liberty this year.
Willis gonna pull, try to get around the edge. Now looking downfield, hesitation, still stays on his feet. Looked like nothing was there. He was still able to pick up a few yards.
Yeah, looks like that's the thing. That's a play with Malik Willis right there. He should have been tackled or thrown it away, but 12 yards, being in 3rd and 12, but instead he's able to pick up a few yards and put him in a manageable 3rd and 7.
Ricky Ronnie said this week, our defensive ends have to be disciplined, but not hesitant. And that's kind of that fine line. You want to play aggressive, but if you get too aggressive and get too far upfield, Malik Willis will burn you.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Is most teams that you'll see play Malik Willis, you'll see him play with a little bit of hesitancy. And like you said, you've got to be able to make plays, not just be hesitant, but be disciplined also.
Willis throws a strike. CJ Daniels stays on his feet, cuts it up, reaching for the end zone, and he's in. A good throw to Daniels, and then he did the rest.
Yeah, take a look at it right here. Malik Willis does a good job keeping his eyes down, but look how fast that release is. Then the strength of CJ Daniels to be able to break the tackle, stretch out, find the end zone. Liberty isn't doing anything complicated at all right now. They're running their quick out game, they're running their hitch game, and they're going to say, hey, we're going to complete passes because you're not going to let us get by you, but then we're going to break tackles and use that to be able to score a touch. So you very early in the game see the offensive game plan from Hugh Freeze.
A 10-play scoring drive to start this ball game. Twice, Liberty converts on 3rd down. One bigger than that one that ends up going for 6. First touchdown of the season for CJ Daniels. And you mentioned it at the outset, Joe. There are plenty of weapons. We talk all about Malik Willis, but he's not all alone out there. There are plenty of guys surrounding him, and we just saw one.
And the thing is with Liberty is the receiver room is so full. The room is so full that these guys are competing against each other for playing time. And so when a guy like DJ Stubbs, who's banged up today, it's the next man up. The next man has the opportunity to be able to make plays. And you look at what CJ Daniels has done already.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that. DJ Stubbs not expected to go today. Both he and also in that receiving core, Javian Lofton, both out of this ball game. So a deep group, but not quite as deep as they normally would be. So now Alex Barbier gets to take the field. It's your turn now, big fella.
Can I go now, Coach?
Barbier, former Penn State kicker. He and Ricky Ronnie were actually there at the same time.
Yeah.
This is one area we have seen an improvement from Barbier this season. Has been in the kickoff game, the ability to kick it out of the end zone. And as I say that, he leaves it short, but a fair catch waved for and taken by ODU. So now you got to find an answer. Liberty drives right down, puts 7 on the board. See what this Monarchs offense can do. Again, led by DJ Mack Jr. UCF transfer. He led UCF to win over Memphis in the 2018 AAC title game. He has played in some big games in his career. Transferred back home from Norfolk. He takes over this program for the Monarchs. Beside him is Elijah Davis in the backfield, a Lynchburg product. They swing it out to his big tight end. Catch is made. That's Kuntz reaching for the first down marker, coming up a bit shy. Kuntz also a Penn State transfer. Yeah. Big fella, 6'8". He's hard to miss out there.
Yeah, and he's hard to tackle too. And so you can see early on what Old Dominion's trying to do offensively. They get in a bunch formation, and they're going to say, hey, we're going to be able to put a hat on a hat, get the ball in the hands of a big receiver who's agile quickly, and then they'll let him run downfield. Really nice play to start for them.
Here's the handoff. Davis will stutter step, ends up getting first down yardage. Davis from right here in Lynchburg. Went to Heritage High School. In fact, he rushed for a Virginia State record 6,690 yards in his career. He had 61 touchdowns as a senior, Joe. This guy got it done right down the road at Heritage High School.
I mean, Matt, I didn't even have that many touchdowns.
I know you didn't. That's why I brought it up. So ODU moves the chains. They swing it to Davis out of the backfield, makes the first man miss, and picks up about 5 yards on first down. Liberty defense has been very good to start the season. 10th in the nation in points allowed per game. Even up just 10 per contest. They are without Henry Chibuzi. You see him there. He is actually not available tonight. Although they are supposed to get Darrell Johnson back, the all-everything defensive end who missed the game a week ago.
In the secondary, Skylar Thomas has been a very integral part of this defense at the safety position.
They run it up the middle. Davis gets a couple, slowed down initially by Skylar Thomas coming in, eventually gotten to the ground after about a 2.5-yard gain.
Now here's the thing we have to do. If you're Old Dominion, get yourself on a 3rd and 3, Liberty taking the ball, driven 10 plays, put together a really nice touchdown drive. They start needing to convert some of these 3rd downs.
Call it 3rd and 3. Running the option to the right, decides to keep it, wrapped up and dropped short of the line of the game. There's Skylar Thomas, one of the tacklers in on it for the Flames.
I mean, that was as nice a play by Skylar Thomas as you could possibly make. They call that slow playing the option. So usually you have one guy that's on the quarterback, one guy that's on the running back. But in this defense right here, you'll see it right here. He slow plays. I'm going to take the quarterback, I'm going to take the run, which makes indecision for Mack right there. And he's not able to pick up the first down because Skylar Thomas uses speed and very good intelligence and making that slow play move on him.
So Old Dominion forced to punt it away. Waiting for this Demario Douglas. He'll call for the fair catch and make it at about the 14-yard line. So the Liberty defense gets the ball back for Malik Willis in this O. All they did their first time out was hang 7 on the board. 7-0 Liberty here in the early going.
Carter Bank & Trust has supported Liberty University for over 3 decades. When many were skeptical of Liberty's vision, our founder, Worth Harris Carter Jr., understood the vision and saw its potential. His instincts were correct. Liberty University has become a regional economic engine. We continue Mr. Carter's legacy by working with determined visionaries to transform potentials into realities every day. As with Liberty University, Carter Bank & Trust is proud of the past, focused on the future.
Only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger. I do not shrink from this responsibility. I welcome it. The energy, the faith, the devotion which we bring to this endeavor will light our country and all who serve it. And the glow from that fire can truly light the world.
Today tastes like a home game, like a huddle. Tastes like we're bringing the heat, and like a front row seat. Today tastes like we're a team, and it never tasted this good.
7-0 Liberty on top here midway through the first quarter. Flames leading Old Dominion.
What is that, man?
I don't know, a little early for
Halloween early,
right? Yeah.
Skeletons.
There's Big Thomas Sargent. He's making his 50th straight start tonight for the Flames. Center. Decided to come back this season. And he is the rock of that offensive line. One that kind of took a little heat after their game against Troy last week. Gave up a lot of pressure, especially in the second half of that ball game. They've been a little bit dinged up, but hopefully, they hope, they're getting healthy again and get back to what they do best. Josh Mack with his first carry of the ball game. He gets about 3. We did not see Joshua Mack on that first drive for Liberty, which is a little bit surprising.
Yeah, Shedra Lewis started the game. Just talked about the Sergeant right there. He took his man as Josh Mack ran behind him and drove him about 5 yards down the field. So nice block by the Sergeant. This trips formations, you see back to the run to the inside or potentially roll Malik Willis out.
Willis looking, firing in traffic. That one dislodged, and he was trying to get to C.J. Daniels. That time Trey Hawkins able to knock it out of his clutches.
See, and now those are the situations where Liberty has really tried to do the curl routes within the zone, but now they've ran so many of them, you start seeing the curl defender begin to sit on those. He's got safety help over the top, so he doesn't feel as threatened, and they're trying to take away what Liberty tried to do on that very first drive. Let's see how Liberty changes it up now.
Flames converted on each of their 2 third-down opportunities on the first drive. They get another one here at 3rd and 7. Willis firing to the far side. Fantastic grab. No, couldn't hang on to it. Kevin Shaw laying out, trying to haul it in. It would have been good enough for first down yardage, but instead an incomplete pass, and the Flames will have to punt.
Yeah, that's a big 3 and out for Old Dominion to be able to pick up 3 on first down, get the great knockdown, and then this drop pass. But really, that was a close play by Shaw and be able to bring that in. But you can really see what Liberty's philosophy is right now. They're trying to attack over the middle and trying to attack the wide side of the fields with the wide field outs.
Aiden Alvis will punt it away. They bring the heat. He just does get it off.
Oh, that's
Roger
a boom.
Craig back to return it. He'll take it. Makes the first man miss, but there's a whole host of Flames waiting to drop him at about the 37-yard line. We'll step aside. ODU gets the ball back, trailing by a touchdown. This presentation of college football is brought to you by Foster Fuels, turn up the heat, and by Carter Bank and Trust, member FDIC. Well, the last time these two schools met on the football field, it was a memorable night for the Liberty Flames. Their very first game as a member of the FBS, and they put on a show. It all started with the DJ Stubbs touchdown reception as Liberty would end up rolling in this ball game, 52-10 the final. Some Liberty greats on the field for that one. Buckshot Calvert, Antonio Gandy Golden had a big night. These two teams have split their previous 2 matchups in this series history, but the Flames and their fans will never forget that night back in 2018. You always wonder when you make that jump, well, how long will it take? What will it look like? How will we be competitive? Flames didn't waste any time that night.
Yeah. Didn't take Liberty long. It's great seeing some of those old guys, like you said,
Yeah.
Buckshot, right? AGG, and those were some really good football players.
So ODU has the football, pretty good starting field position at the 36. John-Luke Peeker just checked in, got the handoff, quickly drugged down. Good job by Akeel Washington there on the edge to limit that to about a 1-yard pickup.
Those are the little things that Ricky Ronnie's going to do in the film room tomorrow. You look at Mack handing off the ball. If he was able to give that up to Peekland early, be able to hand it off just a step early, the defense had to come down. If he just hands it and lets him go, he breaks that tackle and picks up a lot more yardage.
John-Luke Peeker went for 141 yards last week. One of those running backs that had a lot of success. Man in motion. Give it to Peeker again, up the middle, and tripped up a couple of yards shy of the first down marker. So quickly another 3rd down opportunity.
Really like what Old Dominion's trying to do in the run game and how well they're coached within the offensive line. Offensive line, a lot of time, is a game of edges. It's not necessarily your ability to blow people off the ball. If you can just get a shoulder turn this way and a shoulder turn that way and create a little bit of a crease, and they're doing a good job of that.
Mack looks to swing it out of the backfield. The catch is made, but it's going to be short. John-Luke Pinker ended up making the grab. It was a little out in front of him, and he stumbled. And that may have cost them, as it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Yeah, the backside pressure from Liberty right there. You can see it right here. It's a backside pressure coming from Liberty. Had a miscommunication on the offensive line, which allowed him to rush that throw a little bit, put a little bit off target, and wasn't able to catch it in stride.
That was, again, Akeel Washington coming off the edge, so a nice series for the redshirt freshman defensive end.
And those are the frustrating things for Old Dominion. They put themselves in a situation where they've had 2 drives with 3rd and 3. Percentages say that you're going to convert those drives. They need to convert those drives to keep some of these drives alive.
End over end punt, take it at the 20-yard line. That's where the Flames offense will take over.
Especially after Old Dominion had a defensive 3-and-out themselves, to be able to get the ball back and go 3-and-out is very frustrating for them.
So this Liberty offense moved methodically down the field on their opening possession, ended up scoring a touchdown. 3-and-out on their 2nd possession. Now we'll see what Hugh Freeze, Malik Willis have up their sleeve here. Possession number 3.
I'm very interested to see how they'll attack now. They've really, like I said before, they're trying to throw the ball to the outside, trying to tackle to the middle. Will they change that up now?
TJ Green in the backfield. They swing this one out. Demario Douglas makes the catch, quickly hit, escapes, and ends up getting a yard or 2, but a good job in space by this Old Dominion defense.
Yeah, actually, Liberty had a play there for a second. If Noah Frith was able to make a block on the perimeter, he could have been able to spring him free. They had come down and ran a blitz towards that side, and they had a play, but Noah Frith was not able to stay on his block.
Frith makes the catch this time, quickly wrapped up and wrestled out of bounds by Roger Cray. Frith, we mentioned he was out for the first game of the year. Did play last week at Troy, but didn't record a catch. So we couldn't get him, that 6'4" frame, back in the lineup.
Yeah, you're going to see Noah Frith make a play downfield at some point in this ball game.
3rd and 4 now for Liberty. Listen, Old Dominion, first things first, they're putting Liberty in a lot of 3rd down situations. They're getting them in some spots that have been a little bit difficult. Malik Willis steps up. He's got room to run across midfield. Will anybody be able to catch him? Now he slams on the brakes, waits for some blocking, and ends up getting run into by Noah Frith before he falls down inside the 20.
And that's the frustration of playing against Malik Willis. Liberty lined up in the exact same formation they did on the last series. Nothing was there, and Malik Willis busted out.
Handoff now to Shedro Lewis, coming near side, quickly wrapped up and dropped. And yeah, what makes Malik Willis so dangerous? Yes, huge arm, he's shown accuracy, but when it all breaks down, he might be the best athlete in the country, certainly at the quarterback position.
Yeah, and you look right here, they're able to spread him out, so Malik Willis is able to see this. He looks over here, he thinks his play's here, and then bang, he's able to hit it right back up the middle through there.
That run of 56 yards for Malik. He's already racked up 83 rushing yards so far in this game. Willis hands off to Shedro Lewis. Looked like he had a running lane. It closed quickly, and it will bring up 3rd and about 7.
See, I really like that. I really like that, man. What Old Dominion is doing defensively is just like you said, it looks like there's something there, but their linebackers played very disciplined. He was slow played it, let the play develop, and then they showed the speed to be able to close that thing down. Because like you said, it looked like there was a hole there where he was going to be able to skirt through that, and that thing closed quick.
So 3rd and 8.
This is a big down for Old Dominion. Early in the ball game, 3:30 left in the game in the first quarter. They need a stop right here.
Willis gonna run it, looking for a block. Now getting outside, he's got some room, gets the block from Huntley, and he strolls in. You take away one thing, he beats you another way.
Same play they ran against Campbell in the red zone take a look at it. Malik Willis gets down to the red zone, and they are going to let him use his feet.
100 rushing yards in the first quarter for Malik Willis. Extra point attempt by Alex Barbier is up and through. Well, that was all Malik on that drive, and all with his legs. Picked up a nice block from his tight end Huntley and puts Liberty on top 14-0.
All right, here we go. You look at this play right here. Liberty does. It's like the old Washington Redskins counter trey, but they use a tight end on this play. You'll see the guard come back and pull and seal to right here. They'll send Shedrill Lewis outside to be able to clean up anything here. And then you watch Huntley come all the way across the formation. However, he does a good job by nothing's there. So he's able to bounce this thing back to the outside and pick this guy up as he's coming down the field. And Malik Willis is able to walk in for a touchdown. But it all starts with that guy right there.
Malik Willis, 100 rushing yards, 4 attempts, 100 yards in the first quarter. Thrown for 1, run for 1 so far. And sometimes you wonder, are we building up this guy too much? Yeah, I don't think so. Fair catch called for. With more on Malik Willis, let's check in once again with Emily Austin.
Yeah, Matt, when we were talking with ODU head coach Ricky Ronnie, and I asked him about who Malik Willis resembles at the NFL level, at first he was just silent. So I'm like, does he take your breath away? And he's like, yeah, he does. But he reminds me of Russell Wilson. Big, strong arm, can run, but doesn't look to run as a first option. When he does, he's very, very good at, which we just saw. He also added he's pretty polished. I hope people don't see his athleticism and take that for granted on how polished he is as a quarterback.
Yeah, so far this year, we've gotten opposing coaches comparing him to Michael Vick and Russell Wilson. So that's pretty solid.
It's good company.
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, I agree 100% with Coach Ronnie. The major thing that Michael Vick is underrated, that Malik Willis is underrated on, is his ability to stand in the pocket and make really good throws. Speaking of good throws, that was a good throw.
Good throw from DJ Mack Jr. finding his tight end Zach Kuntz. And now this is the situation you don't necessarily want to be in anyway if you're Old Dominion, but especially because of how they want to do things in their offense. They don't want to have to sling it. They'd like to be able to continue to establish the run, but you fall down a couple of scores and maybe you start to kind of change that game plan. Maybe there's a little bit more urgency in what you're trying to do.
They definitely do not need to abandon their run, but what they do need to do is make a drive here and put some points on the board. They got to get that 0 off the board first. The hardest points to score are the first points.
2nd and 8. Flames have done a good job containing that rushing attack from Old Dominion so far tonight, holding the Monarchs to just 2.5 yards per carry. Knapp looking to throw right through the hands of his receiver. That looked like it was on target, but Javon Harvey unable to snag it.
Got to be able to pull those in on 2nd down to leave yourself a 3rd and manageable. Now what you see is a mass substitution by Liberty's defense, bringing their dime package in with all the receivers. They're probably most likely going to rush 3 guys, maybe 4, drop back into coverage on 3rd and 9. Looks like they're giving a blitz look, but I got a feeling they're going to drop out.
Old Dominion 0 for 2 on 3rd down so far this evening. They drop out of it and flat flies.
Mental error.
False start. Offense number 1. 5-yard penalty. 3rd down.
Well, listen, you've had the ball go right through a receiver's hands. Now you have a penalty. You're putting yourself, it was already a tough spot. It's gotten a lot tougher now because of a couple of miscues.
Reset game clock. It's in 18 seconds, please. 2:18.
Clock situation sorted out. DJ Mack is 4 of 5 throwing the football today, but just for 28 yards. Most of those have come throwing to his tight end, Kuntz. See if they try to look his way here on 3rd and 13.
Need to work the middle of the field.
Pressure comes, wrapped up, dropped. Liberty gets to him, and that's Kendi Charles.
Liberty
The redshirt freshman had a sack a week ago and picks up his second of the season here tonight.
Yeah, you take a look right here. Liberty only brings nice little slant and twist move. Able to slant and bring the twister over. That's good football. But you look at that situation right there. When you know that you're in a 3rd and 12 instead of making the catch and being in a 3rd and 3. Now Liberty's defensive linemen and pass rushers are able to pin their ear back. They can run a twist. They can run a slant here, and they give you, and then drop all these people into coverage. Makes it so difficult on an offense when you leave yourselves in these long down and distance.
You punts it away. Mario Douglas ranging to his right, drops it, and it's scooped up by Old Dominion.
And
that's the break they needed. Yeah. You could see Demario Douglas maybe take his eyes from the football down to the defender a bit early, and he never had a handle on that thing.
Yeah, Demario Douglas is an explosive punt return. But let's take a look at his eyes right here. He looks down to see where they're at. I don't think he called for a fair catch. Yep, he's had his eyes up and wasn't able to look the ball in. Probably that's a situation where he should put the hand up, take the fair catch, and just focus on the ball, get the ball back on offense. But what a great opportunity for Old Dominion right now.
Have to cash in here.
Super wide splits down to the bottom here. Trying to stretch the defense out.
Elijah Davis, the running back, in right now.
Checking the box right now, 5 in the box, pros.
Max stands in the pocket, throws, and a little miscommunication there as his receiver, Ali Jennings, broke in. He was expecting him to go out. This Liberty defense, we touched on their success so far this year. They've been put in a little bit of a tough spot here because of the special teams miscue.
You got straight man across the board.
Hand off, trying to get outside is Davis, and able to get 4 or 5 there before the Flames able to wrap him up.
Tell you what, Liberty has so much more confidence this year in their defensive backfield, Matt. I mean, they could be able to go press, coverage on the outside, have cover 0, no safety in the middle field, especially when you're in a trips formation, because that number 3 receiver all the way in has the whole middle of the field to work with. Let's see if they do it again.
3rd and 7. ODU has not converted on 3rd down yet tonight. Looking, firing behind his receiver, and it's knocked free.
Just haven't made the plays. They've been there.
He was looking for his tight end, Isaiah Spencer. That one a little bit behind him. And they're going to send on, it's like the field goal unit.
Just take a look at this. Yeah, good job breaking that up. Who is that?
That was Treadwell getting in there.
Treadwell got his hand in there and punched that ball out. That was a really good defensive play.
So about a 43-yard field goal coming for Nick Rice. He is tied for the program record with 49 career field goals made. They could use number 50 right here.
Got it.
And he got it. So a new record holder in Old Dominion football history, 50 made field goals for Nick Rice. Although Ricky Ronnie said this week, I told him, I hope you never get to kick number 50. I hope all you get is extra points from here on out. They'll take any points they can get with the way this one started as he boots it through.
Yeah, to be able to get that turnover after put themselves in a really bad position with the penalty and then be able to get that turnover and kick a field goal and just get points on the board. That's exactly what Old Dominion needed. But at the same time, you've got to make plays. They got to start making plays. Malik Willis is going to run the ball. He's going to throw the ball. They're going to do what they do. So in order to stay in this football game, they need to make plays on the offensive side of the ball.
And remember, Liberty had not turned the ball over in their first 2 ball games. So they had not made any miscues like we saw there on the fumbled punt. They had avoided those to this point in the season. Usually a sign of a good team. They give Old Dominion an extra possession and they're able to score off of it. I take that back, Shedro Lewis back now to return the kick for Liberty. We saw Duran Lowe earlier.
Yeah, you see Shedro Lewis back there. They saw that first kick landed on the 5-yard line. Shedro Lewis. You know what I've said about him in the past?
Oh, go ahead. I feel like you're going to say it again.
You want me to say it again, right? He's so fast. He looks like he's running through hell with gasoline shorts on.
Yep. You have said that on a couple of occasions.
Oh, here we go.
Yep.
We'll get a shot at it right here.
He'll take it at the 5. On the near sideline. And a good job.
Good coverage
by this special teams unit of the Monarchs to get him to the ground quickly, just shy of the 20-yard line. So Malik Willis thus far tonight, 7 of 10 throwing the football for 40 yards and a score. Also 4 rushes for 100 yards and a score. He has been solid through the air. He's missed one that would have probably gone the distance. He has been really dangerous running the football tonight. Stands in the pocket here, kind of sidearms it. Good catch. Hands catch there by C.J. Daniels, who continues to fight for extra yardage, and he'll pick up 9.
Well, they like getting C.J. Daniels the football.
Well, they call him Sticky because he has such good hands, and he showed those off there. A tough catch with the defender on his back. Willis slinging it again, this time to Mario Douglas. He has first down yardage, now lowers the shoulder, stays on his feet, and almost tight-roped across that far sideline. Boy, he is shifty.
He is shifty. And he can get downfield. He's got good hands, but he'll catch the ball underneath, go across the middle, but his explosiveness downfield.
Stuck on my signal.
And he has become Malik Willis's favorite target. Already 4 receptions tonight.
Please reset the clock to 11 seconds and start on my signal, please.
And it looks like Liberty may be content to let this clock run out, although somebody might want to tell Thomas Sargent he's over the football, ready to go. Malik Willis is halfway off the field. So that will do it for the first quarter of play here in Lynchburg. Malik Willis came in with a lot of hype around him, and he's delivered so far tonight. Through the air, on the ground, he's been explosive, and the Flames lead at 14-3 after 1. Start second quarter, Liberty leads 14-3. Joe, at the beginning of the night, I said, how do you stop Malik Willis? You said that's the $1 million question. Might be a $2 million question after seeing him go off in the first quarter of this ballgame.
Yeah, you watch some of these highlights right here, the way he's running and throwing the football. On Sundays next year, it might be the $60 million question for some NFL defenses.
Yeah, 4 rushes, 100 yards. And listen, I mean, you think back to last week, Liberty on the road at Troy. They couldn't get a lot going in the passing game in the second half. It felt like he just kind of took that offense on his back and made things happen with his legs, and that is what makes him so dangerous. And off to T.J. Green. He falls forward for a couple. Haven't seen a lot from the Utah transfer thus far tonight.
See, and I think that's one of the things that Old Dominion, that play right there is a good example. Old Dominion needs to do defensively. That's an RPO, so they take away the pass. Take away the pass and make them run the football, and then come up. The inside linebackers have been playing well. Make them come up, make tackles, and stop Liberty from running the football.
Green remains in the game. 3 wide receivers to the right. Willis throws, connects with his tight end, Johnny Huntley. He just gets across midfield to bring up 3rd and about 4.
I mean, Matt, the ball just gets there so quick. You're thinking right here, oh man, that's a tight window. ODU has a chance to make a play, and I mean, honestly, that's a pretty routine play for Johnny Huntley to be able to pull that in and put themselves in a 3rd and very manageable position.
First reception of the year for Huntley. Notoriously slow starter during his time as a Flame. So 3rd, 3, ball just across midfield. Flames taking their time, looking to the sideline.
Yeah, this offset formation is one of Liberty's favorites. They can do so many different things out of it.
Into T.J. Green coming near side. He has first down yardage using the blocking. And finally tripped up inside the 35-yard line.
And there's a perfect example of they see the weakness in the defense. They shift T.J. Green over to the other side of the ball, and then they just zone block it across. Johnny Huntley does a great job of getting a reach block right there, which opens up the edge. Just makes things so difficult defensively for teams.
Well, Johnny Huntley is known more as a pass catcher. He's delivered a couple of key blocks here tonight. He's done a good job doing that from the tight end position as we have an injured player down. We'll step aside for a moment, back after this. Good crowd on hand here tonight. Look at the Liberty student section.
See the guy in the Army helmet?
Yeah.
He's got a picture of, like, you know, his girlfriend on the side of the helmet, like, you know, they do back in war. You put the picture of your mom or your girlfriend.
Going to the game, babe.
Yeah, just go to the game, put the helmet on. I love you, babe. I hope I make it back.
Yeah. Liberty, their students show up and show out every game for this Liberty team, and they've liked what they've seen so far here tonight. First down for the Flames. Willis has some time in the pocket, taking a shot downfield, looking for C.J. Daniels, and he's got it! Second touchdown of the night for C.J. Daniels.
And you know how early on they're throwing those outs, throwing those hooks, throwing all those. They tried the shot on the double move. They just went trips to the wide side of the field. They knew they were going to get man-to-man to the short side of the field, and they used a little out-and-up move to get C.J. Daniels wide open, and this time Malik Willis puts the ball dead on target.
You give Willis time. He is very accurate down the field. The extra point up and through. Willis now 11 of 14 on the night. 102 and a couple of scores. You know, there have been some that said Malik didn't throw it that well. He's putting on a show here tonight, though, isn't he? (21 to 3), Liberty on top. 202 total yards, 3 scores, courtesy of Malik Willis, including a beautifully thrown ball for that 33-yard touchdown a moment ago to C.J. Daniels. Willis has gotten so much attention this offseason leading in to this year. So much talk about what he could be, where he could be drafted, all of that. Don't ask him about it, though. He's a humble kid. He doesn't want to talk about any of that. He doesn't like talking about himself at all.
One of the favorite things I like about Malik Willis is that he is an in-the-moment guy. And it's, what can I do for Liberty University right now? How can I get better right now? Well, everybody else is talking about awards and the NFL and all the big things that are coming down the road from Malik Willis. He is very focused on how to make Liberty the best football team they can possibly be for this season.
So far, it's working out just fine. Liberty 2-0 on the year, and off to a good start here tonight. Now, it's a long way to go in this one, and DJ Mack is a guy that's been through some wars in his career. He's tasked now with the opportunity of trying to spark something here for this Old Dominion offense. Hands off, that goes nowhere. Elijah James waiting for the back and throws him to the ground. That's Keyshawn Wicks with his first carry of the night.
You know, if I'm Coach Ronnie right now, you still have to stay committed to running the football. You got to get on your offensive line. You got to get them fired up to be able to make their blocks where they can grind out some runs and have some success in the run game. It's like you said earlier, you start just trying to sling it around the barn for the next 3 quarters, you're gonna have big problems on your hands. You've got to be able to run the football.
Second and long. Oh, fantastic job. Trayshawn Clark got there, read Mack keeping the ball, adjusted to it, and threw him down in the backfield.
See, and that's where Mack needs to show a little bit more patience. They tried the inside run, it got blown up. But this time he clearly has attacked the outside. Trayshawn Clark attacks his outside shoulder. He should have handed the ball off, pick up 3 and 4 yards. So now they're in the 3rd and 14.
This is a Liberty team. As much as we talk about the offense, I think we both say we've been more impressed with this defense so far this year. Mack stands in the pocket, next to his receiver, and they'll pick up some of the yardage they lost. That was Stone Smart, former quarterback turned receiver, making the reception, but nowhere close to first down yardage. Dominion will punt it away. Demario Douglas back to return. Remember the last time he returned one, he mishandled it. Ended up giving Old Dominion great field position, which led to their only points so far tonight. Strong spiraling kick. Douglas takes it. Probably should have called for a fair catch in that situation, as he had nowhere to go and quickly wrapped up the drop.
Mario Douglas is an interested in fair catches.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to give him credit. I mean, that's a lot of courage. Yeah, he dropped the one. They get the ball back, and he's got a guy breathing down his neck, and he still doesn't fair catch it. But no shortage of courage.
So this Liberty offense right back out on the field. 230 total yards so far for Liberty. 40 total yards for Old Dominion.
Not be surprised if you see Coach Hugh Freeze try to dial one up down the field and put a dagger in him.
And off run coming near side for Joshua Mack. He's able to get up to the 30, so that's about a 3-yard pickup. This is the second carry of the ball game for Mack. Mack, interesting stat regarding him. He leads all FBS running backs in career rushing yards. He's been around a while, had a lot of success as Malik Willis takes a shot. That was Harris who put a hit on him. Willis kind of unsure what he wanted to do with the football, ran right into that one.
Oh, I thought he was just going to throw it away right there. He's trying to throw a wide field out on the sprint out here, and there was nothing there. And thought, okay, just throw this over to one of the cheerleaders, and decided to hang on to it.
Trying to do a little bit too much, and now puts Liberty in a tough spot. 3rd and 17. Willis going to the near side and sails that one wide of his intended target, Noah Fritt.
Well, that's exactly what the doctor ordered for ODU defense right there. 3 and out, pushed them back, getting the ball back right away. Make something happen on the offensive side of the football and give yourself a chance to get back in the football game.
Well, it shows you what one mistake can do in the course of a series. He should have probably thrown that one away. He didn't, and then it puts you from, it would have been 3rd and 8 to 3rd and 17. Aiden Alvis to punt it away. And flags fly.
Ball start. Offense number 17. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Well, that about sums it up for Hugh Freeze. He's not too thrilled. Flames have struggled a bit with penalties, especially week 1 against Campbell. They had 12 in that ball game. It's been an area they've been trying to shore up. Let's see if Old Dominion comes after him here.
Yeah.
They do. Alvis gets it away. Craig comes up and takes the short kick right at midfield.
He's got
a block. Tries to turn it back up. Still on his feet. Finally tripped up at about the 42-yard line. And a late flag flies in. May have been a hit after the play there, as there's a flame down. We'll sort it out when we come back.
Welcome back to Williams Stadium. Liberty has a 21-3 lead over at Old Dominion. You know, we talked earlier in the game about head coach Ricky Ronnie's first year as the head coach of this program. So he's trying to implement a culture, and it's based off the 3 C's: care, compete, and character. Care about your academics, your teammates, the game of football. Compete in every single thing you do. And character. Live and carry yourself as a person of high character. So it sounds like the right recipe that this program is going to need in order to turn it around, guys.
Yeah, he seems to be a guy that is a program builder. He has the right mindset to do just that. Right now, they're trying to climb their way back into this ball game. The good field position they had, not quite as good as we thought it would be. Personal foul moved them back 15 yards on the end of that play. As that pass sails up and over the head of the tight end, Zach Coots.
Pass is incomplete, intended for number 80, Zach Coots.
And those right there on 1st down are the throws that Mack needs to make. They did a really good job. They got a tight trips formation. Were able to spread the defense by attacking it vertically, and they had Coots right down the middle of the field. You just got to be able to throw that on the line and hit that big target. It was a well-designed play, and it was there.
Second downs, trying to set up a screen. Davis hauls in on the throw, was a little bit high, and that kind of got him out of rhythm. Ends up losing a yard. Good job rallying to the football by that Liberty D-line.
Screens are all about timing. It's all about patience, and it's all about timing. Timing with the offensive line, let them get through too quick, made the play happen too fast. You got to be able to hold those blocks for just a tad bit longer, let the rushers come upfield, and then drop the screen off.
So another 3rd and long. ODU has not converted yet on 3rd down, 0 for 5 so far tonight.
Be interested to see what Liberty does here. Before they dropped off and didn't bring all the pressure, I think they're going to do the same thing just because being able to rush forward, they're still getting a lot of pressure.
They do. The throw right off the hands of the intended target. That was Raphael McCoy. Hit him right between the 3 and the 0. And that's the 2nd drop on the night for Old Dominion. That's tough.
That's tough. In order to move the football, some of these receivers need to start helping their quarterback out. Mack has made some throws when he needs to. A throw like that was right on target. You might be able to slither through and be able to pick up 10, 12 yards and get a 1st down, or at least give you the chance to go for it on 4th.
Mario Douglas awaits this one. The punter takes a shot. Flag flies in. Liberty clears out of the way, and it eventually rolls down around the 10. So flags come in. It'll be a penalty on Liberty.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker, number 6. 15-yard penalty. Automatic 1st down.
That's Rocky Rahimi. Now, what we didn't see earlier, and we didn't get a chance to talk about, was the last time we saw Liberty punt, Aiden Alvis took a cheap shot on the end of that. It was ruled a personal foul on Old Dominion. Alvis was slow to come off the field. You kind of wonder if this was, hey, you get our guy, we'll go get your guy. And they sent the Rocket there to take care of things. And the Flames will be actually now, because of that play, Old Dominion keeps the football.
I mean, Matt, you're putting that in the beam the batter category right now.
I mean, it's kind of like, yeah, you know, like your guy for our guy, right? You hit our shortstop, we hit your shortstop kind of deal. I don't know if teams actually care that much about their punters to do that sort of thing or not. I don't know. Hand off a couple of yards. But another break for Old Dominion. They put points on the board after the only miscue on the night from Liberty, the fumble punt return. Now they get new life on this possession. You got to find a way to convert. And I would even say at this point on the field, you're in 4-down territory, right?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. No negative plays. Pick up some 1st downs. Get in the red zone.
Peeker takes the handoff. He's got some room to run, and he'll have what appears to be just enough for the 1st down. That 2nd effort, I think, got him what he needed.
Step made by number 55, Elijah James.
Elijah James, one of the Flames on the tackle. And they will move the chains.
8-yard gain on the play. 1st down.
Yeah, really like that call. He audibled into that call. He saw something in the defensive front where he knew he could attack that side of the field and checked into that play, and it was a good game for him to be able to pick up 1st down.
That pulls it down. He's going to take a shot downfield. And left it just a little long for his intended target, Ali Jennings. That was Chris Megginson on the coverage. Jennings transferred from West Virginia, big 6'2" receiver. Sailed it a little long.
Like you said, it's 4-down territory here. ODU needs to get inside the red zone first.
Max stands in the pocket, delivers for a pickup of 8 or 9. That was Stone Smart that sat down in that open area in the defense. Smart, he started 7 games at quarterback for Old Dominion back in 2019, and you can see a good athlete to be able to make that transition to wide receiver.
I really, really like the concepts of Coach Ronnie's offense. Yeah, that's a perfect example. You get into a stack formation off the ball. We're able to drive one guy up, get around, and put that linebacker, puts a lot of pressure on that linebacker sitting in his own defense.
Elijah Davis takes the handoff. He'll have first down yardage.
Elijah Davis runs hard.
Elijah Davis on the carry,
just runs
5-yard gain on the play, first down.
Talked about Stone Smart a moment ago. With more on him, let's check in with Emily.
Yeah, guys, Smart never played wide receiver or return a kickoff before the Wake Forest game. The senior from Sacramento, California, had been a quarterback ever since he picked up a football. He broke high school records, led his team to back-to-back state championships. So when he lost the quarterback battle, he said it was a blow to the stomach, but it looks like that receiver position is working out well for him.
Elijah Davis turning towards the end zone. Comes up just short.
Look at the fumble.
Did the ball come out at the end? The officials tried to sort it out. And Old Dominion will keep it. That was Isaiah Spencer, the tight end, that fell on it. It had been Javon Scruggs that knocked it free. Yep, these Scruggs kind of club it out from behind. And Old Dominion fortunate. Spencer was there. Handoff, stretching for the end zone. Looks like he's in, but a flag came in.
No signal on the touchdown.
It's like they're waving him. Yeah, you're right. Offsides against Liberty, you're right. It looked like he broke the plane, but no one ever signaled. So now we're going to get an explanation. Ricky Ronnie wondering the same thing we are. Did he not break the plane? The official that you would have expected to throw up his arms for the touchdown signal was the one that threw the flag. So they're trying to get it sorted out now.
Slide during the play. The play is under further review.
So basically, it's we didn't see what happened. We'll go take a look at it now.
We'll clean it up in the booth.
Yeah. See Elijah Davis. I mean, he's clearly across.
Touchdown.
Unless.
Touchdown.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's pretty easy.
And see, Matt, this is why as a coach, you have to be stubborn. You have to be stubborn.
Yep.
Things are down, you're down 21-3, but you're trying to decide with a young football team what you want your identity to be. And Coach Ronnie's saying, listen, if we're going to have success as a football program, if we're going to have success offensively, we got to have that success in running the football first, no matter what the score is. And when they can do that, the way Elijah Davis is running the football, he's running violently right now. He's running hard and has a nose for the end zone, and they do a great job of running the football in the red zone. So this is exactly what Coach Ronnie needed to show his team, his commitment to the run.
After further review, the ruling on the field of a touchdown is confirmed. Offside, defense number 24, the penalty be declined.
So the first touchdown of the ball game for the Monarchs, and it comes from the kid from right here in Lynchburg, Virginia, Elijah Davis. With some tough running. And all of a sudden, extra point pending, but it's about to be a 21-10 ball game. Rice on to attempt it. And it's up and through. So now you're thinking 21-10.
Yeah.
Old Dominion, we know, gets the ball first to start the second half. Get a stop here, things could get mighty interesting in Lynchburg, Virginia. 21-10 ball game. Old Dominion hangs a touchdown on the board. A little pocket of ODU fans here across the way.
Yeah. There's Big Blue. Saw Big Blue? There he is. That's my boy Blue.
That's your boy. So they something to get excited about, seeing Elijah Davis get in the end zone. No doubt he has a lot of family and friends here at this ball game himself, being a Lynchburg product.
Heritage High School.
Right. He and Flames defensive back Chris Megginson, teammates there at Heritage. Shedro Lewis back once again to return the kick. He'll have a chance. Takes it at the goal line. Trying to come near side.
Got it.
Has some room. He's across the 30. Stutter steps, wrapped up, and thrown out of bounds at the 40-yard line. But yeah, you could see it setting up. The blocking was there. And he springs a big one to give the Flames good field position.
Kickoff cover team, those wide field returns are very hard to defend. Will get the edge, a kick out right there, a good lead block through there. Nice hole.
As Brody Brum, 19 there, to help spring him.
It's well executed.
So this Liberty offense, it's been explosive here tonight. Shedro Lewis will remain in the ball game at running back. Kind of get the feeling like, you know, late in the second quarter, 6 minutes to go. Opportunity for this Old Dominion defense to really make a statement here on this drive. They started well, so 1-yard pickup for Lewis.
Yeah, we've seen this in the past, though, too, Matt. You know, you get Malik Willis in these situations right before half, and sort of Hugh Freeze says, "Okay, Malik, let's
kind of unleash him in these situations.
Let's take a little bit of the handcuffs off and just let him go, and have a tendency to march right down the field."
Another handoff to Shedro.
It's good defense.
Thrown down after a couple of yard gain, and it'll bring up 3rd down. So twice they run it, and it brings up 3rd and about 6
after the play. Liberty got hit with an unsportsmanlike conduct play penalty.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 1 on the offense. It's a 15-yard penalty. It will be 3rd down, but it's number 1's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul.
That's on Shedro Lewis. You can see Hugh Freeze's thoughts on that.
See what happened here.
Like Shedro just, obviously that's a major flop by Marcus Haynes. But either way, he didn't even need to do that. The flag would have been thrown. You throw the football off the guy's face, it's going to get called. So penalties have been an issue for the Flames here tonight. Now 3rd and 21. Willis has lots of time. Now trying to roll out. Still surveying the situation. And just throws it away. So Old Dominion, the defense does the job, and they're going to get the ball back with plenty of time here in the second quarter. You feel like all that momentum
shifted back.
Shifting.
And especially the way Old Dominion ran the ball in the last drive.
Yeah.
They're able to come out and do that again. Chew up some of the clock. Don't give the ball, like you said, don't give the ball back to.
All right, so we have Max Morgan on the field now. Aiden Alvis, the punter, headed to the locker room. So this is Max Morgan, the freshman, punting for the first time as a Flame. And whistle blows.
Please reset the clock to 5 minutes and 11 seconds, please. Incomplete pass.
Roger Cray back to return the punt. We've seen Old Dominion go after the punter a couple of times tonight. I would imagine with the young kid out there, do the same, wouldn't you?
Yeah, he's got a little bit of nerves going, I'm sure, his first punt.
He gets it away. High wobbly kick. It's going to bounce and take an ODU hop back towards midfield, and it'll check up at about the 48-yard line. So the Monarchs have great field position, but another flag
roughing
throw.
the kicker, number 13.
Wow.
15-yard penalty. First down.
Boy, punter's the most dangerous position on the field tonight.
Oh my goodness.
The 3rd time we have seen a punter, a penalty call on hitting the punter, and rolled right into that plant leg.
I mean, to an automatic first down on 4th and 20-something. Wow.
You know,
Wow.
How many times do you hear people say, don't forget about special teams?
Yeah.
It's a big part of the game. And you go, yeah. It has been tonight.
Oh, my goodness.
Malik Willis hands off to TJ Green. He's got some room to run, just tripped up as he was looking to break off a big one. As it is, gets 9 yards on first down. Harold Blackman tripped him up. Flames offense moving quickly now. Green again, weaving his way through the defense. He'll have enough for the first down.
I like that by Liberty right there. They basically ran the same play twice in a row. They had him in 2nd and 2 and came back and just ran it right at him again.
We haven't seen this kind of tempo from Liberty since the first drive of the ball game. That pass completed to Kevin Shaw, quickly wrapped up and dropped.
Yeah, they're going high tempo right now. Getting these off quick, getting into empty formation. They bring a tight end into the game now. 4 wideouts, 1 tight end, no back. Actually, I see TJ Green in the backfield
just
now.
Subbed in. Yeah, Freeze has kind of slowed his offense down a little bit here the last couple of years, more so than he used to. He said he's kind of learned, you know, it helps to give your defense a little bit of a break as well. But they're still not afraid to turn up the tempo when the moment arises. They're looking for Kevin Shaw downfield, fighting for the football. He makes the catch! Somehow, fends off the defender, makes the grab, and gets into the end zone. Trey Hawkins was all over him, and he's still not sure what happened.
What a great catch by Kevin Shaw. You'll see right here. Liberty. Take a look at the route. The bottom here, little semi out and up, get a comeback on the outside. Kevin Shaw just goes up and takes it. But that Liberty audibled into that play. Old Dominion had stacked the box on the inside expecting a run, and then they just decided they were going to play man-to-man on the outside. And right when Hugh Freeze saw that, they audibled right into that play.
You hear the term 50-50 ball used a lot. That was truly a 50-50 ball. That thing was just sitting right there for the taking, and Kevin Shaw was able to hang on to it and secures the ball, secures the touchdown. The 3rd TD toss of the night for Malik Willis. Shaw had had a very quiet season to this point. Came in with just 1 reception on the year. Tonight, 2 catches, 43 yards, and a score.
And Malik Willis sitting at 13 for 18 for 145, 3 TDs, and he's also got another 90 yards rushing, putting up some big numbers in 1/2 of football. And if you're Coach Ronnie right now, how are you pulling out your hair?
You had it all
21-10,
right there.
just scored a touchdown, got a great defensive stop, and a roughing the punter changes the whole game.
Alex Barbier set to kick it away. Penalties change the entire complexion of a ball game sometimes, and we've seen that here tonight. This was the last drive for Old Dominion. And remember, it started with a penalty as well. Rocky Rahimi flagged as he hit the punter. And then the run game got going. And you mentioned Elijah Davis being one of the guys. He capped it off. They're also fortunate to keep possession as they lost the football. But you start seeing some confidence building, running the ball. Problem is, you keep giving up points. You got to kind of score more quickly as this game progresses. Take a look at their drive chart.
Yeah, when you take a look at the chart and look at the time of possession, there just isn't a lot of time where they're grinding out first downs.
Hand off up the middle. And we'll get about 4 as that was Davis again.
3 minutes and 38 seconds right now left in the half. They don't need to panic. Can still have time to run the football, still have their timeouts. But they need to answer that Liberty score.
It's that fine line of you need to answer, but you also feel like you can't go so quickly where if you don't get a first down, you give the Flames plenty of time. Not much there as Mack tried to keep it himself. Teal Washington there on the tackle. And we're looking at 3rd and 4.
Yeah, OD's not careful here. If not able to convert right here, they could be staring 35-10 in the face before halftime.
See if Matt can find his tight end, Kuntz. He's kind of looked his way in these situations so far tonight. Kuntz comes in motion. Handoff up the middle, and he is right at the sticks. It's Davis again, and they will give him the first down, it appears.
I'm not sure who made that tackle, but he may have been the last person that was able to make that tackle because Davis was coming through there with a head of steam.
So they pick up the first down. That's step 1 as the clock continues to roll. Under 2.5 minutes to go here in the half. Mack finds his tight end. It stays on his feet and picks up a couple extra yards there before he's taken down. Ahmad Walker, one of the Flames there. They knock him off his feet. Zach Kuntz kid, he's a good looking tight end.
Really good looking tight end. Big target, runs well, is athletic. But that's exactly what you need to do. Pick up 7, 8 yards on first down. Gives you the opportunity to run the ball. I don't like the fact that they're taking so long here.
Mack hands off, and that gets maybe a yard, but looks like it may be just shy. Nope, they're going to give him the first down.
Yep.
So Peeker moves the chains. Hey, want to remind you, coming up here at the half, Brett McGibbon and the crew will break down first half stats, highlights, give their take on what we've seen here tonight. That one batted straight up in the air, and fortunate for Old Dominion, it falls harmlessly to the turf.
Brett McGibbon and the crew have a beautiful setup.
They do.
I mean, right inside the stadium.
Got a big screen TV down
there.
Look
at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, big screen. I can see it from here.
That big Elijah James, he took that one right off the forehead there. Brings up 2nd and 10. Mack now 8 of 15 throwing the football tonight. They go empty backfield. Now he's looking to tuck it and run. He's got some room. First down yardage and steps out of bounds. So Mack showing some poise back there. Didn't see what he was looking for down the field.
Liberty's middle linebacker got blocked by the ref, which allowed him to be able to get to that edge.
Minute 20 to go. All 3 timeouts remaining as well for Old Dominion. So the time really shouldn't be a factor. Peeker and John Luke Peeker, I should say, in the backfield. Mack stands in, fires, deflected, popped up in the air and falls incomplete.
Pass incomplete, broken up by number 12.
Flames got a hand on it. Story Jackson, the defender that was able to get a paw on it. Jackson, what an addition he has been for this Flames defense.
Yeah, the transfers on the defense has made this football team a lot better.
Came into the night leading the Flames in tackles. Back again looking to throw, connects, and it'll be for 7 or 8. That was Stone Smart on the reception.
Yeah, definitely in 2-down territory right here. They'll pick up 5 yards on 2nd down, leaving you roughly 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5.
It's 3rd down.
Really, if Old Dominion is able to come away with points on this drive, they're playing this about as well as they could. As far as the time, trying to eat into that. Handoff up the middle. Looks like it's going to be a couple yards short of the first down.
They're going to take your time out here.
John Luke Peeker on the carry, gains 2.
They will, it appears, take their first timeout. So brings up 4th and about 2. Well, Elijah Davis, the running back for Old Dominion, we didn't even know if he was going to play here tonight. He got dinged up in the first half of their game against Hampton. And Kirani was very vague about his availability for this ball game. Doesn't like to talk about injuries at all. Weren't sure if we would see him. he has played, and he has played really well.
Played really well. I mean, 7 carries for 40 yards, averaging 5.7 yards a carry, 17-yard long run, and then also has had a touchdown. So I know Coach Brad Bradley from local Heritage High Schools in the stands right now. I'm sure watching this game. He's had a lot of Heritage products. Be able to play back in Liberty Stadium.
So here you go, 4th and 2. Joe, what do you drop in a situation like this? You stay on the ground, see if you can grind out those couple of yards?
Yeah, I think you want to be able to grind out a couple yards right now. You look at the way Liberty defense, you just count guys in the box right now. They're trying to spread them out a little bit, but you got 2, 4, 6 on 6. I like to be able to see a little read play. And now Liberty wants to take a look at how they line up.
Liberty calls a timeout.
First charge, timeout.
You're thinking if you're the Flames,
30 seconds.
Listen, you get a stop here. You've got a minute left. Now 2 timeouts. And the most explosive player on the field, a quarterback, that's plenty of time for you to do some damage.
They're going for it, too, because the other part of that, too, is you don't get these situations a lot. You want to be able to have these situations, not only for now, but down the road. Is how do you manage a game with a minute left in a half or in the game to be able to get down and score points when you need them?
Remember, this is a defensive line for Liberty without the big fella, Henry Chibuzi. He was a force last week at Troy, but unable to go here tonight.
Well, there's a big fella right there, old Ralphie Rusin.
So, yeah, you lean a little bit harder on the big lap beam. Here we go, 4th and 2.
Playing man coverage. They're going to pack it in now. Liberty's going to come. They're going to run a blitz. It looks like they're going to try to check out. I think they had a run call, but now they know they're in man. They're checking out. Now the question is, will Liberty check out of their defense? It's the chess match. Still in man.
Looking to throw, fires into traffic, and it's caught.
That's a gutsy play.
So they decide to throw it. The catch is made. Jawan Treadwell on the coverage. That was Jordan Bly who made the reception. Son of Dre Bly, who probably heard of, played 11 years in the NFL.
Played in another school.
North Carolina alum. Now Max staying in the pocket, lofting one as his tight end. The catch is made, keeps his feet, and he's in.
Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Zach Coots stays on his feet, and the big fellow rumbles his way to the end zone.
Coots is a force. He's a force. Not only is he big and long, but he can run. He can run. He came all the way from the other side of the field. That is what they needed right there. You're starting to see ODU running the football, scoring a touchdown with Elijah Davis, dropping back and making some throws. You can see they're grinding through some tough times in order to help them build some confidence.
So the transfer from Penn State having himself a nice ball game. 4 catches, 60 yards, and that touchdown. The extra point is up and through. And Old Dominion continues to hang around, 28-17. Here was the 4th down catch. This made it all possible.
Yeah, they just want to, they knew they're in man across the board, and they said, okay, what is our best throw? Slant over the middle. And you see Coots coming all the way across, breaking a tackle, staying on his feet, nose for the end zone. And that's just a good old-fashioned, let's go, right there at the end of that for a touchdown celebration.
You got a couple of Flames defenders come up to lay a hit, and it's kind of, you hit him and then you realize how big he is. So you just kind of brushed him off.
That's one of them California redwoods right there.
Yeah, that's right.
You got to get out the axe and start chopping if you're going to bring old Coots down.
So that touchdown trims the Liberty lead. Now there is still 42 seconds left. We'll see what the Flames are left to do here, but
2 timeouts.
Listen, if you're Old Dominion, the way this thing started, if you're able to go to the break, get down just 11 and get the ball back to start the second half, you got to like the spot you're in.
Yeah. They're battling.
No doubt.
Gotta give them that. I mean, they went down. They could either fold to 10 early, and they've had the bad part is they've had some very unfortunate things happen to them, and they're still battling.
You kind of get the sense in talking to Ricky Ronnie, that's the way he is, right? Kind of just a grinder. That kick taken at the 5-yard line. Shedro coming near side, waiting for a block. Lowers the shoulder, flag flies in as he gets across the 25-yard line.
It's interesting to see what Coach Freeze wants to do. Right? They're going to get a block in the back penalty or holding penalty, whatever it may be.
During the return, holding number 12 of the receiving team That's a 10-yard penalty. The receiving team keeps the ball. First down.
Moves them back to 15-yard line. What do you think, Matt? Take a shot at it, or
and for some people, that penalty would make the decision for them.
But I'm interested to see what they're going to do.
I think if you're Liberty right now, and this is what I would do, and I think you've seen coaches do this a lot throughout the years, is it kind of depends on maybe that first play.
Yes.
You're able to get it. Get some good chunk of yardage on that first play. You can keep it rolling. If not, maybe you say, you know, let's just get to the half and kind of settle things down. TJ Green in the ball game, and to him, slips, falls down as he had a man waiting for him. So no gain. The clock continues to run. That is kind of standard. Maybe you get the chunk play on a draw, and then you get rolling after that.
Yeah, we're taking this one to the house.
And now it looks like Hugh Freeze will be content just to go to the locker room, leading 28-17.
Okay, ODU's got a little momentum. Got a little momentum. Get the ball back. Start the second half, see if they can make something happen.
For all the success Malik Willis and this Liberty offense had in the first half. Yeah, you're exactly right. The Monarchs are right there.
Coach is jacked. Coach is fired up.
Ricky Ronnie said, in our first game against Wake Forest, I was too stoic. I tried to be calm and all that. He goes, that's not who I am. I need to get amped. I need to let it loose. He said, I did that against Hampton. My team fed off of it. You think he's amped right now?
Oh, he's amped.
He's providing the energy
out of his pocket. I mean, he's got everything. He's juiced up. I like it.
So he is leading the way for this group right now, and they head to the locker room feeling like this is anybody's ball game. Emily Austin is going to try to catch up with Hugh Freeze here in just a moment as he makes his way to the locker room. We'll hear from Ricky Ronnie before the second half begins. And let's send it down to Emily right now. Emily?
Coach, you guys came out pretty explosive on the offensive side of the ball and returned to that high-tempo offense with the Kevin Shaw touchdown. How important is it for your offense to run that way in the second half to have success?
It's hard to say. I've got to get in and kind of see. We're a little thin tonight, so obviously got to balance us pushing the gas pedal and managing the game also. So it's hard to tell. We're pretty good. We've been pretty good when we went fast, so we've got to, you know, certainly consider that. But I need to look at everything. You know, our defense has had to play probably more snaps tonight than maybe they played in some games almost in a half. So it's a balancing act for sure.
ODU seems to find a way to stay in this game. What does your defense need to do to separate that lead?
No, let's talk about special teams. Special teams gave them 10 points. I mean, we're up 21-3, and we try to rush a punt and get roughing the punt and then give them field goal there and then fumble one. And, you know, it's just I've got to get that fixed for sure.
Thank you for your time, Coach. Best of luck in the second half, guys.
Well, that's exactly right. Special teams, they have been critical here tonight for Liberty. Malik Willis, though, has also been really good. That's helped build this lead for the Flames. They lead at 28-17 at the break. Halftime show coming up next. Stick around.
A valiant second quarter has the Monarchs back to within 11, 28-17 in favor of the Flames. And it seemed as if, guys, and during the first quarter, it was going to be the Malik Willis show tonight. He ran for over 100 yards through a pair of touchdowns, and things were rolling in Liberty's favor. But then you moved to the second quarter, and ODU found their rhythm.
There's a lot of ebbs and flows in a football game, and you know, sometimes you can get down early and you can become defeated, and ODU definitely, that could have happened to them, but they stayed strong. But as you stated, Liberty started out with a great start. Malik Willis was just driving them down the football field. I think he only had one incompletion on the drive. He rushed the ball well, and he was able to find C.J. Daniels here for the score.
Yeah, Malik Willis came out right away and was just slinging that thing all over the field. I think 4 for 4 to start. I mean, he's put together a really good first half as we look at his stats here. Is 13 of 18 for 145 yards. And really the story of this has been some miscues, I think, on the Flames' part. I mean, in terms of penalties and just some poor special teams play is what I think is keeping Old Dominion in the game. But as we like to say, Malik Willis just keeping this team alive, doing everything that he possibly can. Human highlight reel. Again, tucking the ball here around the edge, going in for the touchdown. But Liberty's finding a way to let ODU stay into this game. It's definitely interesting so far.
Yeah, he talked about penalties. That would come back to bite the Flames. There was Elijah James coming in with a big tackle, and then Rice breaking the school record for field goals, hitting his 50th. He is now tops all time. And then the run game started to get going a little bit. It seems like there's a different pace when TJ Green is out there for LU.
Yeah, definitely. TJ Green has been a spark plug for this offense. I mean, he hasn't had a whole lot of carries tonight because Malik has pressed the ball down the field quite a bit. You see CJ Daniels with another score there. But again, like Pat was saying, this has been the tail of the tape there in the second quarter. Liberty gets a roughing, ODU gets the ball back, and then they're able to go down and capitalize the score with Elijah Davis there.
Yeah, Elijah Davis bearing that one, bringing his team back within it. Then 50-50 ball. Kevin Shaw, I did not think he was going to be able to rein that one in, but he sure did.
Yeah, excellent catch there by Shaw, keeping the concentration. A little bit of hand fighting was going on there. Again, you want to see your receiver just have strong hands, fight through that, and pull it down, and that's what he did there. That was a great job by Shaw of making a big-time play.
Oh, once again, it's a tight one here in Lynchburg, Virginia. We talked about the need for a vertical threat on the LU side. We'll break that down when we return. Flames looking to extend their win streak to 13 at Williams Stadium. They currently lead 28-17. Pat, you're talking about the need for a vertical threat in Liberty's offensive game. CJ Daniels trying to answer that call.
Man, I could not have had a bigger smile on my face on this first drive. CJ Daniels seemed to be stepping up to the challenge. I think I owe him like a thank you note or something for rising to the occasion, standing out as that possession receiver in this first half, really. I mean, you see several short throws, making some great catches on the hitch, and then we stretch the field on a big-time 33-yard touchdown reception. CJ Daniels from Patrick Kelly, thank you so much for stepping up to the challenge.
You know what was good to see about CJ Daniels there in the first half was not only were they making an attempt to get the ball to these outside receivers, but he was catching the ball and getting some yak. He was catching the ball and making something happen. That first touchdown catch that he had, he caught the pass, he broke a couple of tackles, he was able to stretch out and get into the end zone for Malik, and that's what he needs from his receivers. He needs them to step up and not just be possession guys, not just be out there as warm bodies. So it was good to see CJ Daniels stepping up there in the first half.
Yeah, Kevin Shaw also getting a touchdown downfield as well. Once again, 28-17 in favor of the Flames. We'll be back right after the break. Once again, Liberty up by 11 here at the half. Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Coastal Carolina just slipping by in their game ever so close as they're able to take down Buffalo, whom ODU faces next week.
Yeah, and then you look at that Virginia Tech-West Virginia game for our Virginia viewers out there. That was a really close game. Virginia Tech had a chance to win it there at the end, but they fell short.
Yeah, keeping an eye on the scoreboard for next week. Liberty having the Syracuse Orange that they'll be facing. They really put a hurting on Albany, putting up 62 points. That's a big-time win for Syracuse.
Yeah, a reminder, too, that's a Friday night game.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we have Army and UConn. You know, the Flames will face Army here at home later in the season, so that was a big win for Army over UConn here today.
And number 1 in the nation, Alabama, will stay that way, just taking down number 11, Florida, by a score of 31-29. Well, second half action set to begin. One more break to go, and Malik Willis and the Flames back out at Williams Stadium.
Back at Williams Stadium, second half action about to get underway. But first, a moment ago, our Emily Austin caught up with ODU head coach Ricky Rahne.
Coach Rahne, saw you were pretty fired up with your players before the half. A critical touchdown for your team. How much does that affect the team's momentum and the players' mindset going into the second half?
Well, it showed when we do our job, you know, that we can move the ball and we can score points. And the same thing on defense. You know, when we do our jobs, we're playing really, really well on defense. We've just got to continue to do that. And that's the thing that I was fired up about is, you know, we've shown that we can play with these guys. We've just got to make sure we do our job every play.
Awesome. Best of luck in the second half. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Yeah, no doubt this ODU team has to feel like they're right there. They'll get the ball first to start the second half, which means this guy will get his hands on the football. Quarterback DJ Mack Jr. What'd you see from him in the first half, Joe?
Yeah, he shows flashes. That's what I like about him. He's not afraid to stand in the pocket. He'll read a defense and be able to make the throws, but then just like that right there, able to scramble outside, pick it up. But his receivers need to help him. He's had a lot of drop passes, and if they can convert some of those, but there's his target. Kuntz is the guy. That's the guy you need to go to in the second half, get him the football. And but he's shown me a lot in this first half.
Kick sails out the end zone, so they'll get it at 25. And you get the sense this first drive of the second half means a little bit more than maybe in a lot of other ball games. You have a chance here to really quiet this crowd and let everybody know we're here all night long.
Yeah, their job in this drive, especially to start out, is just start making the people a little bit restless. That's all you're looking to do. Like, whoa, first down here, a pickup here, a nice play there. Get that ball down near the red zone and have a great possession, especially after all that momentum they built at the end of the first half.
Back, hands off. Davis gets a couple on first down.
And I think what you're going to see Liberty start to do defensively, Matt, is there's two types of different blitz package that you have. You have a pass blitz package, and then you've got a run blitz package. I think that was a good indication right there on first down. They went with one of their run blitz packages and were able to keep them, only held them to 2 yards right there. We see more pressure inside from here. They go. They're bringing more from inside again.
Running out of time. Ralph Rusins has him wrapped up and drops him.
Yeah, that's 2 plays in a row. When you look at halftime adjustments, Liberty didn't bring their inside backers a lot on blitzes. In the first 2 plays of the game, in the second half, they brought both backers both times.
The big fella from Latvia getting in there and causing some problems from his defensive tackle position. Brings up 3rd and 9.
And here they come again. I don't know if they're going to bail out right now. But 3rd and 9, I'd like to see him bail out, but yep, bring a rushing 3.
Running out of time. Trayshawn Clark there has him wrapped up around the ankles. Now gets a little bit of help as they get him to the turf. That was Ahmad Walker coming in to clean things up.
Yeah, there's another side of the story, and that's Liberty's defense and Scott Simons as a defensive coordinator. Yeah, you take a look right here. They only rush 3, but they drop 8 back into coverage. And then there's a spy there who cleans up things on the 4th as the 4th rusher.
Talk about setting the tone for the second half. It was maybe that Liberty defensive line that was able to do that on that possession. So Flames had to get the ball back. Low kick, taken by Demario Douglas. Made the first man miss on the far sideline. And he'll step out of bounds just in ODU territory.
Demario Douglas on the return takes it up to the Old Dominion 46.
This Flames offense, there's not a lot you can put on them for the way this game has gone. They have lived up to the billing. Malik Willis, 3 touchdown passes, 1 touchdown run. Here's a look at some of the work he put in, 235 total yards.
Yeah, those short throws, he just snaps them.
Yep.
He snaps, and then obviously they ran a great, well-designed play. They rushed it for a touchdown right there. He's rushed for 90 yards, throwing the ball. I mean, he is the whole package.
Shedra Lewis in the backfield with him right now. Bring him out. Roll Malik, sets his feet. Now a little pump fake, looking to run. Tripped up, no, still on his feet. And he's able to get about 3 yards. I have no idea how. They were trying to take a shot downfield.
Yeah, they were trying to take a shot, but there was a perfect example of the next step from Malik Willis. They rolled him out. He set his feet to take a shot downfield. They had bracket coverage. You see right here, he turns, he looks downfield, they had bracket coverage. But what he did have is he had Noah Frith on the sideline as his second read. I think he may have gotten a hand in his face right there, didn't like it, and wanted to tuck it and try to make something happen with his feet. Good defense.
Hand off up the middle. That's Lewis, who gets thrown down after a pickup of about 3. Jordan Young on the tackle, leading tackler for Old Dominion coming into the ball game.
By number 3, Jordan Young. Third down.
So brings up 3rd and 4 for the Flames. Take a look at their drive chart from the first half.
Yeah, you see 4 touchdowns scored there. Not a lot of these. You look at those TD drives. Things happen quick. Things happen quick when Malik Willis is on the field.
4 wide receivers, 3 to the left, 1 to the right on this 3rd and 4. Willis lays it out there. Demario Douglas stays on his feet. Makes something happen after the catch. He's along the near sideline, makes another man miss. Still on his feet and finally dives to the turf at about the 13. It's like trying to tackle a greased pig out there the way he just slips out of your grasp.
That was a game of pinball right there.
Now the handoff to Shedro Lewis. Flag comes in as he gets a couple.
Oh, that's coming from the offside.
So the initial indication against Old Dominion.
Illegal substitution. The replaced player for the defense did not get off the field before the snap. That's a 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. It'll still be first down.
Watch the yaks right here. Those are all yaks. That's not, we're not talking about when you ate 2-month-old cottage cheese.
Another flag comes in. That's thrown. Perfect spot. Touchdown Liberty. Will it stand? That was Kevin Shaw on the reception. Now we wait and see what the flag's about.
Offside. Defense number 9.
Again.
That penalty will be declined. Result for plays a touchdown.
Listen, this throw, take a look at where he put this ball. Where only his receiver could get it along the sideline. This was a dart. 4th touchdown toss of the night for Malik Willis.
Matt, there's 13 minutes, 10 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. He's thrown 4 touchdown passes and rushed for 90 yards.
Yeah. What are you trying to say?
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
The extra point attempt here from Alex Barbier, and then giving another look at that touchdown grab, the 2nd of the night, by the way, for Kevin Shaw. He's having a breakout ball game. So the Flames put points on the board quickly. Malik Willis to Kevin Shaw, where only he could get it along the sideline. And the Flames out in front, 35-17.
40 or the backyard. It takes hard work, commitment, and the right tools.
At Kubota of Lynchburg, the sale is only the beginning. We've got you covered from start to finish, season to season.
It's the service after the sale that matters. Professional, reliable service at the shop and in the field.
Mowers, tractors, utility vehicles. All new Kubota equipment is available with 0% financing for a limited time at Kubota of Lynchburg.
Today tastes like a home game, like a huddle. Tastes like we're bringing the heat, and like a front row seat. Today tastes like we're a team, and it never tasted this good.
Only a few generations have been granted the role of defending freedom in its hour of maximum danger. I do not shrink from this responsibility. I welcome it. The energy, the faith, the devotion which we bring to this endeavor will light our country and all who serve it. And the glow from that fire can truly light the world.
Carter Bank & Trust has supported Liberty University for over 3 decades. When many were skeptical of Liberty's vision, our founder, Worth Harris Carter Jr., understood the vision and saw its potential. His instincts were correct. Liberty University has become a regional economic engine. We continue Mr. Carter's legacy by working with determined visionaries to transform potentials into realities every day. As with Liberty University, Carter Bank & Trust is proud of the past, focused on the future.
So the Flames strike quickly here on their first possession of the second half, lead at 35-17. Let's check in once again with Emily Austin.
Offensive lineman Isaac Weaver is a 6-year senior for ODU, and unfortunately, he has a very powerful story. Unfortunately, he lost his father at the young age of 7 years old to cystic fibrosis, which motivated his mother to go back to school to become a respiratory therapist. That, in turn, inspired Weaver to major in biology. Guys, he is such a powerful piece on this team that Coach Ronnie said that he is the heartbeat of the offensive line, and in some aspects, he is the heartbeat of this team.
Yeah, he said, you know, he could have gone anywhere for his final season and played, but he said, nope, I want to stay and build something here and be a part of this year with Old Dominion, and Boy, they're happy he did. Just an anchor on that offensive line.
What a great story.
So Liberty set to kick it away. That's the thing with this Liberty offense, right? You feel like you're in the game, you're in the game, you're in the game, and it's just bang, 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 touchdown. It's like, what just happened?
Well, the thing is, did you hear Hugh Freeze's halftime? You know, when he was interviewing, he's like, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how much of the gas pedal I want to go on.
That returned out to about the 24. Yeah, he mashed the gas pedal. He's not, but and that's kind of what we referenced earlier in the game. He used to be all gas, no brakes.
Right.
And then over time, the last couple of seasons, he said, you know, I've realized we can play better as a team, and our defense can be more competitive if I'm not forcing them to be out on the field all the time. So back off the gas just a little bit every now and again.
Yeah, but the gas pedal also, I think what he's hinting towards there also means within his play calling. He has so much there within his play calling. How much does he really want to open it up to step on that gas also? It's a good place to be at offensively.
I got to think with number 7, that's a pretty good place to be, you know, calling plays no matter who you are. So an opportunity now for Old Dominion to respond. Good throw on first down, a completion to Stone Smart. Gives him about 6. Smart seems to have a really good feel for kind of just sitting down in those open areas.
Got to get the ball back in Kuhn's hands. He's had a good game in that first half. I'd like to see him get more involved here in the second half. Hard to defend.
Yeah. Kuntz has 4 receptions, so too does Smart here tonight. Handoff going nowhere. Ralph Williams again.
Yeah, those inside blitzes freed up for those defensive linemen.
Seeing Rusins have his best game on the young season tonight. Brings up another 3rd. We'll call it 5.
Got to go up top. They got man coverage down here. But they're going to bring a safety. Liberty's going to bring the safety to the short side here over the top. They're checking out their defense. Now they're going to zone.
Bring just 3 and a flag comes in.
False start. Offense number 4. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
And that was Smart. And that is just a killer.
And that what makes us a horn. That's that Liberty crowd. When you get the Liberty crowd really involved in the game, and right there, it's the chess game. ODU had a play call. Liberty had a defense call. ODU checked out of that play to Liberty's defense. Liberty checked out of that, and this just caused, with all the crowd noise, it's a lot to process in a very short period of time.
So now 3rd and 10. 2 wide receivers to either side. Mack running out of time, wrapped up and dropped. That was Kendi Charles again. He got to him once earlier tonight. He got to him again.
Kendi Charles and Darrell Johnson absolutely collapsed that pocket.
We want to talk about a good story. Kendi Charles, the young man living in Haiti when that earthquake happened a number of years ago. He and his mom basically just living on the streets for a long time before they moved to Florida, and he eventually picked up the game of football. And boy, he has a bright future, still just a redshirt freshman. Punt is away, low spiraling kick. Mario Douglas gets it, and he's running the wrong direction and gets wrapped up and dropped. So the Flames will have the football. This defensive line kind of asserting itself so far here in the second half. 35-17 Liberty on top. They have the football and a chance to maybe start to blow this thing open. But let's go back, Joe, to that last touchdown. What do you see?
Yeah, you get a good idea what the levels concept. Cover all levels of the field. You'll see Noah Frith run that shallow crosser right there. Then you get the backside, work the backside of the end zone over here. Shaw will come down here and he'll hit right past the pylon and working there. The tight end on the backside will be the flat. So you have all the levels covered, and then Malik Willis able to come out here and then squeezing limes and dropping dimes.
Flames with the football now, as you see Joshua Mack on the carry. He loses a couple. Joe's been taking art classes at the junior college, so we want to make sure he can show that off on the telestrator.
Did you know that? Did you know that I just made up squeezing lines and
Did you really?
Yeah, it just hit me. I said, what?
Usually, I was gonna say you never texted me that.
Yeah,
Usually you send them ahead of time, all your one-liners. Willis kind of double clutched, ended up delivering a strike. Next catch is made. That's Treon Sibley on the reception, his first catch of the night.
Complete to number 21, Treon Sibley, gain of 12
That'll
on the
move
play.
the chains.
First down.
So Liberty without Javian Lofton and DJ Stubbs, going a little bit deeper there on the depth chart, the wide receiver spot. Josh Mack, as a flag comes in, picks up a couple.
Joshua Mack on the carry, flag on the
He
play.
might have been offsides again.
Yeah, a lot of offsides.
Offside, defense number 9.
5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Yeah, it was Marcus Haynes flagged for being offsides. Haynes is a guy that Hugh Freeze talked about. He said he may be one of the best players we play all season long. Speaking of the defensive end. The guy that'll move all over that defensive line. Not much there for Mack. Good tackle coming from the backside. That was Stephen Williams getting into the ground.
Stephen Williams Jr. No gain on the play.
Josh Mack hasn't really been able to get going tonight. Willis pulls it out, looking downfield. He's taking the shot, looking for Shaw. Little bit of confusion as to which shoulder Shaw was expected it to come over. Kind of like a center fielder on a ball hit straight over his head, kind of got turned around.
Yeah, it looked like Shaw, when he was running that route, gave a little stick move to the outside and was trying to run a skinny post right there. But Malik Willis threw it more like a corner route.
You get him looking, trying to whip that head back around and find it. Brings up 3rd and 5 now. Mack goes out of the backfield. They swing it to him. Nice catch. Able to turn it upfield and get the first down yardage. You know, it's not something the Flames do a lot, but they have 3 running backs that can all catch the ball out of the backfield.
Great job. TJ Green, Shedrill Lewis, Josh Mack all have good hands. Catch the ball very well. Swing it out there. The key to that whole play is you have to be able to block on the perimeter, which Liberty did a good job right there.
Willis going to roll out to his right, looking downfield. Still looking. And now throwing, and fortunate that falls incomplete.
Penalty on late hit out of bounds. It's a really bad penalty by the ODU defender.
Well, the penalty's stacking up now.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 31 defense. 15-yard penalty from previous spot, first down.
That's Dave Harris. He's the transfer from Minnesota. Get another look at it. Yeah, just a little shove. I mean, we know
you can't do that.
You just can't get away with that these days. It's unnecessary. He's out of the play at that point. So Liberty now with first down at the 23 of Old Dominion. Handoff. Goes up the middle, not much doing as Mack is able to fall forward for a couple. What did you see from this offensive line tonight, Joe? Because that was a point of concern last week against Troy.
Yeah, I think they played better. They obviously played a lot better, and Malik Willis is running the football. But the thing that you have to be patient with as a Liberty fan especially, you see a lot of these inside runs with Josh Mack, and they may only pick up 2-3 yards. But all they're doing is using these plays in order to set up the outside runs for Malik Willis. As those linebackers start crashing in, defense end starts crashing, you're going to see Malik Willis pull the ball and make long runs.
Willis pulls it out, looking to take a strike. Kevin Shaw, touchdown. Oh, did he drop it? He couldn't hang on. Wow. That was on a string. Well, somebody needs to tell the band they are unaware. But that, I mean, you talk about, in baseball, you hear the term frozen rope. That's basically what that throw was. And Shaw, very frustrated that he couldn't hang on to it. Yeah. Man.
That hurt him. That hurt him. I mean, he's smashing the plate like he is not going to eat his green beans tonight.
So 3rd down now for Liberty after a missed opportunity. Willis going to step up, surveying the field, checks it down to Huntley. And they have a 1st down to the 5. I mean, that is just so tough.
Yeah.
If you can either runs it if that's there, otherwise takes his time. He's got the tight end.
And that's what great running quarterbacks do, is they keep their eyes downfield, be able to spot Johnny Huntley down the field.
Up the middle, Shedro Lewis down to the 1.
Shedro Lewis on the carry, gain of 3 on the play, 2nd down.
You just see, I mean, he's direct in traffic. He's under control.
Throwing it back against his body.
Willis up to 218 yards through the air. Here's a bigger concern, Huntley. ODU still getting people off the field. Now Liberty goes. Malik keeps it and ducks into the end zone for the score. 2nd rushing touchdown of the day. 6th total touchdown of the night.
On a side note right now, Matt.
Yeah.
There's a miss and 35 seconds left in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah.
Side note, 6 touchdowns.
He's putting in some serious work tonight. Extra point on the way from Barbier. That sneaks through. There were those that said, Malik's played well in the first couple of games, but he hasn't really had that wow game yet. Yeah, he's having it right here tonight. 6 touchdowns. (42-17) here with 5:18 to go in the 3rd quarter. And we said it, I mean, just like that, this offense can turn a game around. Liberty has done that. And at the same time, credit to the Liberty defensive line, because they've kind of shut things down and held Old Dominion in that offense pretty quiet here to begin things in the 2nd half.
Yeah, they made some really good halftime adjustments, what Liberty did. They were able to bring in some run blitzes into their defense, got great pressure off the edges from their defensive ends, and were able to collapse the pocket. So good job defensively with the start of the 2nd half.
Kick off a sail into the end zone. So now your Old Dominion. 2nd half not starting out the way you'd like it to. What's the call? What do you do? What do you do in this situation?
I mean, Coach Ronnie's always, what's he trying to do right now?
Yeah.
You do what he's trying to do, build a program. In the process of building a program, you don't get away from who you want to be. You don't start saying, oh, hey, we're down 42-17, we got to throw the ball the rest of the game. No, you get in and you demand from your kids that you're going to get in your formations and you're going to run the plays that they practice and that they're there to run. And that's a big part of that, is running the football.
Elijah Davis is in the backfield. They give it to him on 1st down. He picks his way for maybe a couple. Well, we said that was one of the matchups within the matchup. This run game for Old Dominion, they had so much success, 358 yards a week ago against a Liberty rush defense that was allowing less than 55 yards a game on the ground. So far tonight, Liberty's given up 56 yards and just 2.1 yards per carry. They've been up to the task here this evening. Mack looking to throw, has pressure, runs out of time, surrounded, and there's 3 or 4 flames on him before they finally get him to the ground. Kendi Charles, one of those flames there. He's already gotten 2 sacks tonight before that.
Kendi Charles is playing really well. But great credit to Liberty's secondary right there. ODU had their 3rd receiver inside in man-to-man coverage, and that's where they were looking to throw the football. But he did a great job blanketing him in coverage, and then caused the pocket to collapse. And next thing you know, Charles has got a sack. So great job by the secondary of Liberty.
3rd and 12.
Dropping out into quarters coverage. Good play.
Set it up here on the near side. Great tackle. That was Tyron Dupree that was able to submarine the blocker and make the tackle.
And they had it set up right there. Little tunnel screen, got able to get all their linemen out. Had Batiste Botoga would come snipe right through there and make that tackle. That's just a good individual play right there.
So ODU forced a punt on their first 3 drives of the second half. They have totaled -5 yards.
Ouch.
That is, especially that defensive front, just cranking it up a notch for the Liberty Flames.
Let Demario Douglas deep again. Yep.
It's always an adventure. He's ranging back, makes the grab, tries to make that first man miss.
Uh-oh.
Now trying to turn it up. He's got some room across the 30. Gets a block, and he takes it across the 40-yard line. It is never boring when Demario Douglas is back to return a punt.
I mean, Demario Douglas attacks punt returning like somebody just stole his cookie. Wow. I mean, he doesn't mess around.
It has been an adventure for him tonight. Some good, some bad. He had the one he dropped earlier in the ball game that led to Old Dominion's first points. But never boring.
I love that, though. I love the fact that he doesn't play scared. And he dropped it, and what do? I'm a fair catch. I just want to survive.
Right.
Nope, not him. He was angry about that, and he's attacking returning punts.
So Malik Willis and the offense back on the field. Willis rolling, looking downfield. Now takes a shot. Boy, he kind of squared himself up and took a lick from Stephen Williams. Those are the hits you freeze. Is like, no, just throw it away.
Yeah.
Just throw it away.
He does have a tendency to, one thing I'd say about Malik Willis, he needs to improve. He does have a tendency to hold a little bit long when nothing's there. He thinks he has to be a hero on every play. Sometimes it's just better off throw it away and survive to the next play.
So second and long, TJ Green in the backfield alongside Willis.
Guess you're going to get a screen out here.
They give it to Green. He ends up getting back some of that yardage they lost. They'll get him to about 3rd and 8. Taking a look at that last drive for the Flames. Able to convert on a 3rd down to Josh Mack. Some penalties as well in that drive from Old Dominion that helped extend it for Liberty, and then finally Malik just taking it himself. 3rd and 7 now for Liberty. They've converted on 8 of 11 3rd downs. You want to win? Convert on 3rd down. Willis has time, now gonna roll out, looking downfield, waving guys on, and now he just tucks it. Stale stays on his feet, surrounded by Monarchs, and finally goes down. A huge loss on the play. And that goes back to what you were just saying.
Yeah.
Just because you can make the spectacular play, doesn't mean you have to do it every time.
Yeah, and you take too many of those shots, sooner or later it's going to take its toll. So just, and I'll give ODU credit. You look, when you watch him scramble, there's plays I'm watching, I'm looking at the defense. There isn't 1 spy on him. There isn't 2 spies on him. There's 3 spies on him. Like they're all coming.
And punt. After made, now is fielded, picked up on the run. There's some room to run now for Old Dominion across midfield. A flag comes in, as that was Isaiah Page on the return. And we'll check the flag. And seems like more often than not on a good return, a flag does come in.
There's going to be some special teams talk though tomorrow for Liberty.
There have been some miscues on both sides for special teams. Penalties,
during the return, personal foul, illegal blindside block on the receiving team. 15-yard penalty. Receiving team keeps the ball. 1st down.
So another penalty going against Old Dominion.
I mean, what's the penalty count at?
It's up to 8 now going against the Monarchs. There's the blind side. That was Scruggs that took the run of it.
The general's hard to go down, too.
So that will back them up. So much for that field position. Yeah, 8 penalties for 79 yards against Old Dominion tonight. Tough to spring an upset on the road with some of those miscues. Clock winding down towards the end of the third quarter here. Keyshawn Wicks on the carry. I'll say this, and we haven't necessarily seen them all break out tonight. This Old Dominion squad has some really good running backs. Watching Wicks a week ago and some of the work he put in against Hampton, I was impressed with him.
Elijah Davis, good back. And I love their commitment to the inside run. That's where you start building a program. Inside run.
Wicks again. Not much happening. Maybe one on the play. We'll bring up third down, and that'll get us to the end of the third quarter. So it has been tough sledding for this Old Dominion offense in the second half. Liberty extending this lead 42-17 as we head to the fourth. Well, third quarter was all about this Liberty defensive line just shutting things down. They were getting after DJ Mack. In fact, Old Dominion for the entire third quarter, -1 total yard. It all started up front for Liberty.
Yeah, Ralph Rusens getting pressure up the middle. Trayshawn Clark, Darrell Johnson off the edge. Charles had a great 2 sacks on the play. It's like stepping up and taking control of the football game with your front 7. That's the proper way to play football.
3rd and 6 for Old Dominion. DJ Mack just 13 of 21 throwing the football tonight. Looks to throw it here. Flag flies. He's in trouble. Hit. Dropped. Now we wait and see what the flag's about. Steven Sings, one of those flames in the backfield.
Offside. Defense. Number 24. 5-yard penalty.
It's a mental mistake.
Yeah, so Akil Washington flagged. Take a look. Well, he must have been lined up across the ball because he didn't jump early. Brings up 3rd and 1.
Liberty's doing a good job of changing their fronts, giving different looks, slants and twists. It's giving the ODU offensive lineman a lot of trouble.
Hand off, and it is close to the first down marker.
He got it.
Looks like they will give him just enough.
I thought for a second you were going to question me.
I'm not going to question you. No.
Go ahead and just tell me my name.
Old Eagle Eye Joe, you've been pretty reliable on those.
I don't miss a lot. The Old Eagle Eye does not miss a lot.
So they move the chains. Clock running here early fourth quarter. Elijah Davis up to 45 yards rushing now in the night. That pass snags some room to run, and first down yardage for Old Dominion. That was Javon Harvey making the catch. He took a lick on the end of it.
That was a really nice catch by Javon Harvey. Right.
Remember, he had that one go right through his hands earlier in the ball game on a similar route.
And that was the same play. Those are the catches that he needed to make earlier in the game to keep drives alive. But that's a really nice play by him to come back and be able to make that play.
The Old Dominion, you're also, like you mentioned, Joe, you want to do what you do because it's not just about tonight, it's about next week. It's about the rest of the season as they take a shot to the big tight end and good coverage. That's Rocket Rahimi in coverage back there. He gives up about 7 inches to Zach Kuntz. But good job just kind of body positioning, able to get there and keep him off the ball.
Yeah, but from a quarterbacking position, when Kuntz is going down the sidelines like that, always make sure that you underthrow. If Mack can underthrow that ball just a little bit, where he gives him a chance to come back and use his body like a basketball player would do on a box out.
He's winning a jump ball.
Yeah, you got to give him a chance.
Hands off, up the middle, tough running, and first down yardage for Elijah Davis.
There is a lot for ODU to build on from an offensive line. So sometimes they look really bad. Pass protection, they have not looked very good, especially in the second half. But in the run game, when they get hat on hat and they know who they're blocking and they allow their backs to be able to get their shoulders squared north and south and get downfield, they look really good.
Davis now averaging over 5 yards a carry tonight in his Lynchburg homecoming. Now that ball is loose on the turf, and Mack just has to fall on it. As if like that snap down a little bit to his side.
Snap goes behind the quarterback for a loss of 7. Second down.
Yeah, blowing away.
You got to minimize those mistakes. You get a little bit of momentum going, have a nice pickup, a nice drive, and now you put yourself in a really tough spot.
Behind the chains now, 2nd and 17. Mack going to take a shot downfield. Knocked away. That Liberty defense, that Skylar Thomas in coverage, the Washington State transfer. We've seen him fly around and make some plays this year. Haven't had a whole lot of opportunities where he's been challenged in coverage. He was up to it.
Yeah, Skylar Thomas is the complete package. He will come up from the secondary and he'll strike you, but he also has the speed on the outside to be able to cover. And that's just a good to turn, not panic, find the ball, get your head turned around, not pass interference. Really nice play.
Remember, he led the Cougars in interceptions a couple of seasons ago. So 3rd and 17 now. Mack slings it into traffic. There were 2 flames there, and that was the only problem. Although a flag flies in late. Rahimi and Story Jackson both fighting for it. Kind of like a couple of outfielders need to call each other off.
And they were sniffing an interception right there.
Now we'll see what the flag's about.
There is no penalty for defensive pass interference. 4th down.
You may have been able to read Hugh Freeze's lips. He said, "You'd better not," at the officials. He didn't think there was interference there.
Oh, there was interference there.
Yeah,
there was interference.
He got there early, Rocket Rahimi. So a break for Liberty. As Old Dominion forced to punt.
He won't do it here, will he, man?
Demario Douglas is back.
He's got the heels on the 10-yard line.
You never can tell. That one's not going to get there. That one is short and on a hop, goes out of bounds right around the 20. Let's check in with Emily Austin.
As you guys know, ODU opted out of last season due to COVID-19. The players were told to go home indefinitely back in March of 2020. But punter Ethan Dwayne, he couldn't go home. He's from Australia. But backup quarterback Hayden Wolf invited him back home with his family. Dwayne stayed with them for the next 5 months, and they now consider themselves brothers. So Dwayne hasn't seen his family in nearly 2 years, so it's cool to see as a teammate make him feel a little less homesick here in the States.
Yeah, man, you hear these stories, and with all the different COVID protocols and things of guys not being able to see family or not very often, but man, that is extreme to go that long without being around your family. Josh Mack is spinning, changing direction, running circles, finally dropped for a loss of 1.
I mean, can I give you the obvious joke for that story? No, I'm not going to do that.
Don't do it.
It's just too hard.
Better.
Yeah, I know.
Are you?
I just wonder if they put any shrimp on the Barbie.
No. Yeah. I bet you're the first guy that's ever.
Yeah, I did it. I'm sorry. If your parents are watching back in Australia, I apologize.
Second and long for Liberty. Malik Willis going to throw it. It's Demario Douglas coming across the middle. He slams on the brakes and gets just shy of the 1st down marker. So bring up
Demario Douglas.
3rd and about 1.
Gain on the play, 3rd down.
Handoff, lowering the shoulder and moving the pile for another Flames 1st down. It's Josh Mack on the carry.
Joshua Mack on the carry, 4-yard gain on the play. That's another Liberty.
He's had a lot of great runs tonight, but picks up 4 yards there. So the clock continues to roll. As the Flames try to close out their 3rd win of the season. here in Lynchburg tonight. Joe Yacht, Matt Warner. Joe, you've seen a couple of games with Liberty going into this one. What did you learn maybe about them tonight that you didn't know before?
Well, I think the consistency offensively. I think they were searching for that, and then Malik Willis has so much more to offer, and we saw a lot of that tonight. Him be able to rush the ball so well, which you know he can do, but the throwing, they were very, very, very good in their passing game. So I think, and then defensive line. I thought the defensive line played very, very well, and they've been able to get a lot of pressure on the quarterback. So they've really stepped up on both sides of the football tonight.
Remember, too, for Liberty, you're without arguably your best receiver in DJ Stubbs. He is not playing tonight. We'll find out about his status going forward, I'm sure, tonight or early next week. But so they're having all this success without one of the most electric weapons in the receiving game.
Yeah, I mean, that's unreal. DJ Stubbs, like you said, is
well, he looks good on the sidelines. That's a good look.
Well, that's smooth. I mean, that's just smooth.
It doesn't look like a guy that's going to be out for a while, does it?
I will say this, man. He doesn't have arms like yours, but he's trying.
I know. You can't hold him to that standard. 2nd and 5 for the Flames. Willis going to the far side, caught by C.J. Daniels. He's had a really good night. Daniels 5 receptions, couple of touchdowns. 70 yards receiving now. Remember, it's going to be a short week for Liberty coming up.
Yeah.
They play Syracuse Friday night, so they have a little bit less time to prepare, and that's part of the reason why I'm sure Hugh Freeze, we mentioned at the half that, hey, we're a little dinged up. Like, that's got to play in the back of your mind as well going into that game. You got to stay healthy if you're the Flames.
Yeah, he wasn't happy about the amount of snaps his defense had to play in the first half. Well, let's just say they've limited that down in the second.
That's true. That's true. That was the 20th completion of the night for Willis. As Josh Mack picks up 5.
Joshua Mack on the carry, tackle made by number 14, Justin Richardson.
Malik, 233 yards through the air, 77 on the ground. The sacks have kind of wiped out that number. He's up over 100 yards in the first quarter of this ball game.
And that's a positive for ODU to build on. Right. There's a quarterback that's rushed for nearly 100 yards in the first quarter of the game. Thing was, this can be a 200-yard night. They really tightened up on him rushing the football and were able to get a few sacks and pressures on him. So there's a lot of positive things for ODU to build on defensively.
Monarchs with 3 sacks on the night. Willis pulls it out, slings it, catch made by Noah Frith. So Frith with his 3rd grab of the evening.
Ball just comes out of his hand.
I was thinking, you don't normally hear with quarterbacks like miles per hour, right? That's a baseball thing, right? You don't really hear about that a ton. I would be interested, though, to see, compared to the average velocity, where Malik Willis comes in, because it comes out of his hand fast, quick.
Yeah, no doubt. I like that. That's a good stat. They don't measure that kind of stuff.
Now, I mean, typically you don't really see that a lot, but man, it gets on those receivers so quick. You think about, like, in terms of how far down the field can a quarterback throw, but on those short routes, he gets it on them in a hurry. Another first down. Josh Mack's best run of the night. Lowers the shoulder, across the 30, and another first down. Now you're starting to see Matt get rolling a little bit. They need to get him going. He's had a slow start to this season.
And they really, they have so many good backs, and they're just like trying to figure out who will really step it up and get that hot hand. Especially as you're going to start games down the road where you have the Syracuse, you have Army, you're playing Ole Miss. You got to have a back that it's always great to have a big, deep stable of backs, but at the same time, you got to find one that has a hot hand.
Malik Willis checks out, so his night is done. Jonathan Bennett comes in. We'll give you Malik's final tallies here in just a moment. Josh Mack makes a man miss and ends up picking up about 6 yards on first down.
Yeah, I'd like to see Josh Mack get some footing here. That was a nice, patient run. That's what I love about Josh Mack. He's a very patient runner. Waits for his blockers to develop, and then he's able to squirt through and find that hole. That is the strength of his game. And he really worked on his speed this offseason. He's got decent breakaway speed. Like we'll see him get into that second level and be able to break some long runs.
So the Flames content to just keep that clock moving. Bennett, who played well in the opener against Campbell, threw for a touchdown in that ball game. Milking every second off of that play clock. Hands again to Mack, room to run. Now the stiff arm pushing his way down to the 15-yard line. Take a look at the numbers for Jonathan Bennett this year. Redshirt sophomore. He's a guy, I think anybody that, and we've talked about this, you talk to him, you just think, man, what a great kid.
Yeah, what a comeback story.
Had a terrible knee injury his first year with the Flames. He was celebrating one of his teammates' touchdowns and just shredded his knee, worked his way back. Now his second string here for the Flames. Played well against Campbell a couple of weeks ago, and a chance to help close this one out here tonight. They're going to keep it with Mack. He gets just a couple. Now, these are times when you're an offensive lineman, like you kind of live for these, where it's just like everybody knows what we're doing. We're going to run the ball, but you just, it's your chance to kind of prove something, right? Just overpower a defensive line.
Yeah, and you like to see them do those inside runs. That's where the offense really likes to flex their muscles. All these, zone blocking things, and you're moving together and trying to be in sync together. I mean, you got to do that. It's an important part of football, but those guys in the trenches, they like going mano-a-mano and running the ball in between the tackles.
Second and 8. Troy Henderson just checked in, gets the carry. Nothing much doing.
Troy Henderson on the carry.
So we told you next week, Liberty at Syracuse. Remember, those two hooked up last year. Flames put it on them. That was an impressive showing for Liberty up in New York last year, and Shedro Lewis went for $170 on the ground in that game as Liberty won 38-21. You can bet the Orange remember that.
Yeah, go ahead, Matt.
I was going to say they had a sizable win today over Albany, 62-24.
Always sizable.
Jonathan Bennett rolling, throwing towards the end zone. Nope, just throwing it away.
And you know what? This is good right here. If they're going to go for it, I mean, I wouldn't, because get Alex Barbier another kick.
Right, they haven't made a field goal this year.
He needs to get some kicks. So
Barbier missed a 41-yarder week 1, had one blocked last week at Troy. So this one will be about 31 yards. Having the leg is never the question with Barbier. The accuracy, that's what they're looking for, and he delivers.
There you go.
So field goal is up and good. Flames put 45 on the board. They're 329 away from going 3-0 on the season. This presentation of college football is brought to you by Foster Fuels, turn up the heat, and by Carter Bank and Trust, member FDIC. Well, Liberty looking to extend its home win streak to 13 games. That is a program record. Liberty's also going to start now back-to-back seasons 3-0, which is the first time they've done that since 89-90. So some uncharted territory here for the Flames. Hugh Freeze has taken this program and, with the help of Malik Willis, taken it to another level very quickly.
He gives him a little bit of help.
He does.
Yeah.
Flames are just outside the top 25 this past week, so we'll see if tonight's result allows them to crack the top 25. They were ranked for 8 or 9 weeks last year. Closing in on that yet again. Kick taken at the 5-yard line. And across the 20 before being wrapped up is the return man. That'll get us to a timeout. Liberty trying to finish this one off, 45-17 with under 3.5 to go. Boy, that is a beautiful shot of the moon, isn't it?
That's perfect.
Great work by our camera crew. 45-17, Liberty on top. Well, anytime Malik Willis is playing, he's going to be the headliner. A lot of people coming into the season saying, Heisman candidate. What does a night like tonight do to solidify that candidacy?
Yeah, I mean, Malik Willis obviously being at Liberty is going to be an under-the-radar type of person.
Right.
However, you know, with the numbers that he's putting up, the amount of touchdowns that he's throwing, is like, can he get into the conversation? And the key to that is the big-name teams that they play down the road.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to go to Ole Miss and show out, or you go to Louisiana Monroe, Syracuse next week. Those are some big name teams that it's going to get a lot of national spotlight. So if he can play out of his mind in those games, he could get a lot of national attention.
Well, you see he was on the sideline there. That's Antonio Gandy-Golden there on the sideline. He's on the Washington football team practice squad. The greatest receiver in Liberty history. They played Thursday night, so he gets to come down to Lynchburg and watch his former teammates. Mack in some trouble. Runs into the waiting arms of Steven Sings. All right, coming up for Old Dominion, taking a look at their upcoming schedule. They're going to return home and play Buffalo next week. Buffalo played Coastal Carolina very close. I think that would end up being a one-score game today before they hit the road for a couple of weeks. UTEP Marshall. And you see the rest of their schedule there. So some challenging games down the stretch for them, but you have to feel like, at least based off what we've seen here tonight, they're going to be able to compete. As that one popped up and intercepted. Intercepted by the Flames. That was Carl Poole, who was the right man in the spot as that one was deflected. And he picks it off for his first interception of the year.
Carl Poole is fired up. That was a really nice play. Big hit, ball pops in the air, in the right place at the right time.
Carl Poole is a guy, a walk-on, who got a scholarship right before the season last year. Ended up having to play a ton for Liberty, the linebacker position. Not as much playing time this year with the depth they've created, but he gets an opportunity here, and he makes the most of it with the interception. A lot of Liberty students sticking around. Want to see all zeros here before they head on out and continue celebrating this Liberty win. 2:19 to go as the Flames look to run out the clock. This was a 28-17 game at the half. Felt like ODU was right in it. Yeah. And then in the second half, boy, did it change quickly, and Liberty, they're going to pitch shutout here in the second half.
Yeah, I think it was Liberty's defense that said enough is enough, and they came out at the start of that second half and really applied a lot of pressure with their front seven, and pocket was collapsing on ODU, and they made a statement to say what type of ball game this is going to be in the second half. They didn't have to play a lot of snaps. ODU's defense has been on the field a lot this second half, so they just overall just wore them down with their pressure.
Handoff. Not much there as the clock continues to roll. Talked about that game for Liberty at Syracuse Friday night. That'll be an 8 p.m. Eastern start time. So Joe, you're gonna have to stay up a little bit later.
Yeah.
Plan accordingly.
Make sure you get plenty of sleep in that format.
That's right. That one is scheduled to be on the ACC network. So good tests. Really the next couple of weeks, Liberty goes at Syracuse, at UAB. So they'll be tested on the road here in their next couple of ball games. So right now, Hugh Freeze is just, as much as he's worried about anything, just the health of his team. Can they get back some of the guys that have been out? Can they escape this ball game without any serious injuries? Largest crowd tonight, just over 18,000 for the Flames. These fans came out to see Liberty improve to 3-0 on the year and continue this dominant performances at home. And talked about where this program has been under Hugh Freeze. He's the fastest coach in Liberty history to get to 20 wins. He'll get 21 here tonight. Wrapped up and dropped. So the Flames turn it over on downs, and we're 36 seconds away from closing this one up.
Yeah, Liberty's defense overall continued to grow and get better offensively. This is a good game. This game had a little bit of choppiness to it at times, but they were able to really clean things up, get back in the film room, get better for this stretch that's coming down the pipe here. It's going to be some really tough football teams.
Yeah, we've said all along, the back half of that Liberty schedule gets awfully difficult. You need to take care of your business here in the first half. Set yourself up for something special, and so far they've done just that. Clock continues to move. Old Dominion, will they run another play? They're unsure of that themselves right now. And that's going to do it, it appears, for the ball game. So Old Dominion fought. They made it fairly close there in the first half, but half number 2, Malik Willis and this Liberty defensive line, that was the difference as Liberty moves to 3-0, winning here tonight 45-17 in what was just a dominant second half. So for Joe Yock, I'm Matt Warner, saying so long from Lynchburg, Virginia, where the final score once again is Liberty 45, Old Dominion 17. Remember, all games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. There'll be Liberty and Syracuse coming up Friday night, 8 o'clock. Looking forward to that one. Appreciate you joining us tonight. Remember, this has been a presentation of ESPN.